And we're off. Hello, welcome, everybody. It sure is good to see you, all of you lovely player people faces that I have before me on my screen. It's good to see you all. Seeing as we live all over different places in the country, except for three of us, I guess, who live together. It's always good to have this opportunity to get together and hang. I gotta say, there's always this like period of time before we actually click a live button here where I'm just kind of in the background, like sizing windows and getting things set up in OBS while everybody just chats. And so it's kind of my chance to just like listen like a fly on the wall to like what everybody's doing and what's going on. It's kind of an interesting experience. I wanted to share it because I don't think you guys have had that experience that I have every time, and I wanted to let you know that it's a very interesting experience. So yeah, we got all caught up here just a moment or two ago on all the new K-drama and and yeah, travel related news and so on and so forth, and about lovely naps that got people all refreshed and ready to go for today. So anyway, it's kind of a fun experience is all I'm saying. It's kind of my favorite part of getting this whole thing going. But it's good to see you now because I always have my camera turned off while I'm doing it. So hi everybody, good to see you for the first time.
Oh, hi.
Also, if anybody happens to be hopping on here watching, welcome to this episode of Character Choices. We are cruising towards hopefully some sort of an ending point for our characters Akerly and Bitsy, played by Abby and Madison, because they're about to take off and go do other things for a year and a half or two. And I just don't know if we're going to do it because the way that we're having to fit things in life, but we'll see. We'll have to get fast and furious if we want to pull something off.
No more taking side quests to beat up poor people who didn't do anything to you, Nazriel.
No more Jim. No more Jim. Right.
Are you trying to start a fight, Wicket?
No, I'm trying. This is Beth speaking, not Wicket.
This is starting to feel like a side quest.
Side quest, destroy Wicket.
I think if we are going to choose a side quest, we have to choose a side quest to find a therapist for a Nazriel. That's
She's got
I don't need a therapist.
issues to work
my
out.
Own counsel to my tree when I feel like it. Otherwise, I just keep it all bottled inside, you know?
Yeah, I think the first symptom of needing a therapist is talking to a tree.
Yeah. It's a magical tree, if that helps.
No.
That seems healthy.
I love that with one session, I managed to convince my whole party that I'm mentally unstable.
That's all it takes.
I mean, I think we were thinking that before that too, but
We just proved our
it's just
point.
confirmed secret, deep, dark suspicions.
We all knew. In the back of our minds, we all knew. I had
They
fun.
won't see
I had
one
fun
season,
doing
David.
this. I had fun doing this sort of weird, awkward fisticuffs session, which is something I've never really done before. Like how to do a fight where you're not really trying to kill the other person and you're just kind of hitting each other without weapons is something I hadn't done. So that was me on the fly trying to figure out what to do. I think I got it all wrong, but it was a fun experience. So, but hey,
I liked
that's role
winning.
playing. What's that?
I said I liked winning.
Right.
I was really worried there for a second when you kept rolling natural 20s. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
you
Jim
got
did
into a
okay.
fight and you're going to get beat up.
Jim did okay for like a guy who works at a timber mill most of the time. So, but anyway, well, hey, why don't we launch into this again? Welcome to this episode of Character Choices. Yeah, we are just going to continue our little quest for the greatest story ever rolled and see how things go from here. Just once again, for anybody that might be watching either now or later, our past episodes mostly are up on YouTube. So go check out YouTube/Character Choices. I don't know how the URL works for YouTube, but the channel is called Character Choices on YouTube, and we do have the episodes of this little campaign that we put together. This kind of learning experience, I think, with D&D. Up there on YouTube, and a few little kind of one shots and kind of out of character kind of sessions that we did. So feel free to go check those out. We'll get these last few posted here pretty quick as well, so that we're up to date. All except for the Lost episode, which
That's
was-
episode 4, right? The Lost
it was like episode 4, I think. 4, 5, 4. I think it was episode 4.
Wasn't it when we beat up the Talaru?
I think it was when you.
episode before that.
I think it's when you fought the Talaru, which is kind
Which
of
was pretty
okay.
epic.
It's kind of okay though, because I remember I was trying to do like dog dragon noises and it was not working. So I'm kind of glad
Maybe
that
that's why
one
it
went
I just
missing.
remember us
Disappeared.
being epic. It's really sad that we lost it.
You say you lost
Yeah,
it, but
it went missing.
Like he was embarrassed and just got rid of it.
Yeah, no. Nope, just got left in the mix, and it was kind of related. I think right around the time that we moved houses, and just went missing in the mix. I don't remember exactly what happened, but hey, all except for that, they're up and running. But let's get ourselves up to date. I'm going to let you guys kind of chat with each other here real quick and kind of do a bit of a recap of what happened in the last episode, leading up until the dom at the end, and kind of get us set up and ready to rock and roll here. So, what do you guys remember?
We're responsible for a recap.
It's your time. It's your time to shine, Abigail.
Chat about it.
well, we
Abby?
left off on a major.
Abby's our resident note taker. She's the one who keeps us.
Yeah.
Lie, and we all
Yeah,
know it. It's
so there was-
it's balance
It's
between
Maddie.
me, Maddie, and Britt, and the only two people who
Me
have
and Em are
not
useless. We'll admit to that.
While,
Hey, I'm
while
not
Rachel's
sure.
over on the side being like, "Don't tell me, I don't
great.
want to remember."
I
Trying to
could
plug
be
it out.
great at giving, like, I'll give a summary. Ready?
Okay.
So we were all like at a place where we were all chatting and talking, and like stuff went down that was like leading to a seriousness. Not really, because like no fights broke out, so it was really fine. We all like went someplace else. We like kind of migrated and did some other things. We came back, and then there was that crazy cliffhanger. Dun dun dun.
That was the most.
I love how you recap
vague
with as
recap I
little
ever
as
heard
details
in
as
my
possible.
life.
Went over to the thing, and then we waved at the thing, and then the thing
And then
waved
we
at
talked to
us,
some
and then it was like, dun,
people.
dun,
We went
dun.
shopping.
Guys, that's the point.
We went shopping. I got bullied into riding a horse
Oh, that's
because of
right.
my pride,
Mhm.
which I did poorly at.
We did. So the beginning of the last episode, we left Oathtaker Lawson's place after having given the recap and took the Codex Rod with all the information we had given them to the armory, where we met Quaylen.
Olin,
Quaylen,
half-hand,
super gritty dwarf halfling.
half halfling, half dwarf, a quarterling.
Yeah,
Oh, I got it. I
she said
got it.
she's
though.
gonna give Wicked a tattoo.
Yeah, it's got stab and grab tattoo.
Yep, yep. You guys met old stab and grab,
That's right.
and you
right.
announced yourselves as Waybap, if I remember.
Yeah, way back.
So is that still a
Oh
thing?
I
no,
think-
I forgot about that. The trauma. Ugh.
Is Waybap still a thing, or did you guys
You're way
have
back.
any other inspiration?
It's
not a thing.
has happened to make it not a thing, so it's a thing.
No.
Until it's
It's
not a
100%
thing.
a thing. It's grown on me.
Temporary thing.
We are currently way back until further notification.
There will
But
be
Way
further
back.
notification.
Waybap.
then
Diddle down down, Waybap.
Sounds like a cool 80s like group.
Waybap.
It sounds dope, guys.
It does sound like a 70s. It's like Wham. It's like the new Wham,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. It still sounds like a dipping sauce to me. Way back.
What did-
I grew to love it the moment Wicked declared that
Oh, it's
people
like
will
the
fear
way
way
back.
yeah.
So
I know, but it's not the way back. It's way bop.
The way back. Oh, you're thinking
Yeah.
Mr. Peabody and
Yeah,
Sherman.
Mr. Peabody and
The
Sherman.
way back.
It sounds like the way back, but it's way back.
I love that movie.
The way
Maybe it
we've
could
all
be-
watched that movie far too many times.
Anyway, so then it's in conversation with Poland, it's revealed that she's one of the 4 friends closest to the Bower King, and that she hates being admired for who she knows. So she's got some things she's got to figure out in that area. We're given some credit for the armory. We all head to the army and look at all this fancy stuff. So I think a few of us got stuff. I know. But I know a few of us have leftover credit in the armory, then we can go back and get stuff later on.
I'm looking for a really awesome sword.
If we are still alive, hopefully. I should
Yeah.
probably make a will at this point because I don't know how this is gonna end.
You almost die all the time.
Making a will.
Who
Wow, yeah.
wants the 100 credits that I still have?
I do. I'm saving for a sword.
Oh, good enough.
You can divvy it out.
True.
Guys, you all bought magical things. I'm saving for a
That
sword.
was your choice. Hey, you could have gotten a magical thing. You just chose not to. So we're all equal
This
here.
sword is just super awesome, but it also was super expensive.
Well, I have a cool horn of blasting, so
She's like,
Hopefully you
Wait,
remember
a
how
cool
that
horn of
works.
blasting that has
Bottle.
high likelihoods of actually hurting you.
yeah.
Guys, remember.
something like
I
that.
remember. But
Yeah.
then
Cool.
we get out of the armory, and it takes a second to figure out where we go from there. But then we decide to go shop, and then we go to shop, and then Nazriel gets on a horse. That was a horror fest, and and we
I
both
thought I did quite excellently, but you know.
we
Yeah,
have
hmm.
two different memories of that occasion.
I think there's
but-
probably.
That's because excellence is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, technically, we were the beholders, so.
Yeah, you were the screaming green half elf person on the horse.
Barely hanging on. But anyways, I think you bought a dress because you had a
did.
hot date. I
did.
mean, you didn't see it as a hot date.
And then David interrupted it.
Oh,
Right.
I remember what it is. I remember the boy came in and was like, "Blah," and, ah.
I think that we should vote to have Beth always recap us.
I feel like she gives off some really Wicket energy of recapping. I feel like if Wicket was recapping, it would be the equivalent of that.
And then there was a thing and it glowed and we did this, but also did it.
There were people and places and things.
And so the story goes.
Wait,
We
but there
find.
was, I remember. Wait. I remember on your date, right before Cole comes in, all like bloodied and bruised. Your guy said something. Like he said something, like weird, and caught us off guard. Or am I making that up? You remember?
No, I remember being caught off guard by something, and I don't remember by what. To be completely honest with you, it's
I
been
think
a
he
hot
was
minute.
like confessing his undying love.
No, I don't think it was that.
It was something shocking like that.
Wishful
It wa-
thinking. No, I would have to go back and look if there was like a big revelation. So
Okay, because I don't
Or
remember.
am I just mixing up the date with when Cole barged in and surprised all of us?
could have been. There's a right before the door slammed open though. Bitsy, your destiny meter
That's right. That's what I
No, like
went
exploded.
crazy. Went crazy. Like more so than it's ever done. It like bam highlighted the door in this amber colored energy that then sort of shattered as the door opened and Cole came stumbling in. And
Oh yeah, we were saying that the destiny was gonna go to the one elf guy, and we were all
Yeah.
like, "He's
Yeah,
gonna be
and then
joining them."
Right.
You're like, that was a plot
Well,
twist.
but that's yeah.
Okay,
And-
so we don't know what's going on with Cole. Okay, got it.
Yeah, okay.
so the story goes. Seated, all of you, in comfortable but rustic chairs inside of the tavern side of Quaylen's Rest in the outpost of Baronhold. I already see bubbles on the chat, you guys. Okay.
It was
Momentarily.
It's all good.
You find yourselves here. The comfort of food and warmth and the sort of soft light of the fireplace and the lanterns around the room, the music of the bard drifting, the kind of minstrel drifting from the corner stage, all of it. And maybe a look or two passed, uncertain, between our friend Anazriel and her companion Elkia, the elf, shattered as the door slams open and a small figure comes stumbling in. Curly hair matted with blood, blood dripping down the face, signs of bruising and lacerations. Clearly, he's been roughed up real good. As he stumbles in through the door, raises a hand and kind of grasps out towards Lady Akerly and says, "Milady, help!" and stumbles to the floor. And that's where we left off. What'd you guys like to do?
Akerly instantly gets up and rushes toward him.
I'm also gonna get up and run over.
Okay.
I feel like I'm already halfway there, having seen my destiny. I'm like,
Okay.
we're all
So-
kind of just.
All of you converge, kind of running towards the space. Akerly, if you hop, or Anazriel, if you hop up, you're closest. You're in a door that's near the front door where Cole kind of stumbles in. So you would get there first, but only marginally, as several of your friends kind of run over. And you see Cole gasping and kind of blinking. One eye is swollen almost completely shut, very like Rocky style from the old movies, and the other one is kind of open, but he's struggling to kind of look and kind of see you through it. And he's just kind of breathing and sort of wheezing on the floor.
Can I just like cast Cure Wounds? Like, just do it.
If you'd like to.
Oh, he's so cryptic.
Is Cure Wounds?
It's not an
Cure Wounds is not a cantrip, right?
No, it requires touch. So
It's a spell slot, though.
Can I get up and just it's a spell slot.
Okay, so just for whatever it's worth, craziness is happening. You never know what slots you're going to end up needing. Do you have alternative ways that don't use spell slots to heal this kid? Or you can use the spell slot to do it. It's up to you. I'm just not trying to kind of get in your heads or metagame.
Do we have
anything, but
any potions left?
You
I
def-
do have a few left.
Let's do
you do
that.
have some potions
Let's
left.
do that.
Yeah.
Who's got them?
I think I do.
I never
have
used.
two of them.
I never used mine.
I used mine.
So whoever gets there first and thinks of it.
I know we used one on Akerly, but I don't remember whose it was.
We
My
used two. We
inventory
used
says
one
I
on
have
Akerly,
one more.
and I used one when I almost died. And then
I see 3 in my inventory
Yeah.
on my
And
character.
Akerly should use one.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pipe up and be like, Akerly, healing potion now, please, por favor. Well, Bitsy doesn't speak Spanish.
I also have Cure Wounds, but I don't know if that's just something that I can only use on me. That's the spell I got from my
What spell
Kaima.
is it? Cure Wounds?
Kaima.
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, that's both our options.
You could certainly cast Cure Wounds from your Kaima if you'd like to. So the potions that you got were just standard potions, right?
Yeah.
So they would heal a bit. But again, he's just a youngster, so he doesn't need a ton of hit points to get healed, I don't think, depending on how he's doing. But let me double check here.
Do we want to use a potion, guys, or do we want to just do Cure Wounds?
Well, I mean, if
I
you
don't
have
care. Someone heal this kid.
Because if I
Yeah.
use mine, we still have all of yours, Maddie.
Yeah, I think
wanna
that's the
get
best
started?
option.
Okay, I'll use mine,
Fine.
David.
Yeah,
2d4 plus 2 if you use a healing potion.
and then the Kaima is just the normal Cure Wounds, 1d8 plus
Yeah, I have no
spell
idea.
modifier.
Yeah, 1d8 and plus a spellcasting modifier, which I suppose for a monk would be wisdom.
David,
Yep.
with the Kaima, is it? I know that they need to be recharged and they can only be used once a day. Is that once a day per spell or once a day period?
Once a
and
day
then we can
Per
what
per
spell?
per spell. You can cast each
Okay.
spell daily.
I don't remember my first spell.
So what do I do, David?
Let's take a peek here. I just want to make sure you're as a monk. You don't really cast spells, but if you did, this is a good thing to take a peek at. I'm not sure if it would be because technically as a monk, your highest is going to end up being dexterity. I think
My dex.
wisdom is your next thing, but dex doesn't make sense for casting, so I'm going to say wisdom. So roll. What is it?
D8
Cure Wounds is D8 plus 3.
Plus 3?
Yeah.
Okay. 7.
Where'd you go, Bitsy?
Here.
There you are. Let me check here. just to make sure. Yeah, you just add your spellcasting modifier, not a proficiency bonus when you cast that. Okay.
No.
Okay. Sounds good. So 7 points of healing actually does a pretty good job for a youngster like Poe. And so you kind of reach with your mind into the Kaima. You've not really had an opportunity to utilize the spells inside of your Kaima or use it at all, really. The only interactions you've had with the Kaima have been in the moment you were first bound as a venturing hand, and when you took the oaths, and the moment that you had your kind of recounting this last episode. When you kind of touch it and you can sense the spells that are in there and kind of feel it, and at this moment you kind of connect and interact with your Kaima, and you feel this almost willful sense of magical energy kind of flow out and into your hand, and you feel your hand you see your hand be kind of wreathed in energy that you then kind of place and touch on Cole. And it spreads out across him, and you can see almost immediately small lacerations begin to knit up. You see the swelling in his eye go down significantly, and he begins looking better almost immediately. He gasps as the healing sets in and takes place, and his eyes kind of blink and open a little bit more clearly as he kind of looks at you. You can see gratitude in his eye, but it's in his eyes as he looks at you, but it's warring with worry, with anxiety, with desperation almost as he looks up. He reaches out and grabs you as soon as he starts to feel the strength to do so, grabs the front of your shirt, the kind of vest that you wear over the loose white shirt that you wear. He grabs onto that and pulls you close, and he's like, we've got to hurry, they need help now. And he kind of glances around frantically, looking again for you, Akerly. My friends, he's got my friends.
Who does?
I don't know, except to say that he's my brother. But I'm not sure it is my brother. I mean, it might be, but something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Where are they?
We were taken in a space on the edge of town near the barricade. We had been following a shady character or two, but I think that's what they wanted us to do. We ended up there, and they found out that we were following them. I think they knew already that we were following them. They turned on us, and before I knew it, they were on us. We were just trying to keep an eye on things, just trying to be good wardens of the outpost, just trying to do something to help. We thought that they were members of the same banditry that attacked you outside of the city before, and they jumped us. They hurt me. They took Jen, and they took Paul and True, and all three of them. And he told me that if I wanted to see them again, I would have to bring you.
Okay. We're gonna help you. Right, guys? We're gonna. What's the plan? Oh gosh, this is a really intense situation, but it's okay, Cole. We're gonna help your friends. So deep breaths.
As you breathe, do breathing exercises. You sense Elkia stepping closer. He kind of steps in. You see his mannerisms changed from the casual sort of nature that he had with you while he was sitting, and he's immediately stiffened into the posture of a soldier, of a guard, as he kneels down, hand on the dagger that's at his hip, and kind of leans in. Cole, is it? Yeah, it's Cole. I'm going to need you to give me as many details as you possibly can, Cole, so that me and my guards can help track down whoever it is that did this to you. So, is there any way that you can lead us to the place that this happened? And Cole kind of looks up. He's like, I can take you there, but they're not in the outpost anymore. Something was off about the barricade. They melted through it and disappeared. I don't know. I can show you where, and hopefully we can pick up their trail, but I don't know what he's up to. My brother, he's my oldest brother. His name is Lev. Or at least it was. He's been gone for a long time. He's different. Something's wrong. And Elkie kind of looks up at the rest of you. I'm going to summon some of the god, and perhaps we can figure this out. Pim.
Yeah.
I want you to do for me a wisdom saving throw.
I knew this was
in the chat, Rachel.
I knew
That's exactly what she was saying in the chat.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably effective like
Okay, I just do a D20 and then I add my wisdom, right, David?
A wisdom save. Usually it would just be your wisdom unless you have other bonuses. So on your character sheet, if you have bonuses in the saving throws section, it would tell you.
I did it against being frightened and against poison.
Okay, so not advantage, so just a straight wisdom.
A 12.
You know what? Against poison, go ahead and give me advantage. As I think about it,
that's how the infection happened.
poison might not.
being nice and trying to save you.
No, I'm not.
You rolled terrible.
No, I'm
He's
not.
like,
Not trying to be nice,
"Fine."
trying to be accurate. And poison might
20.
be the best way to describe some of what's happening to you. What's that?
20.
Okay. So you hear a sound in your mind, a kind of and a scream that kind of reaches out and tries to kind of grapple inside of your mind. You shrug it off, but something kind of makes your head kind of perk up into the side, and you look out like through the wall of the building in a certain direction. You sense something. You sense something familiar now because you've wrangled with this infection that you have. Something close. And right as you turn and kind of look for some reason at the wall, you all notice him do this. You hear in the distance just a kind of an explosive sound. Elkia jumps up immediately and he runs to the door and he throws the door open, and you can see coming through the darkness. It's dark outside because it was evening time. You see that the outside is just lit against a backdrop of flame and fire. And those of you that are closest at the right angle, you can see that at the far end where the main gate into the city is, not the river gate that you've been through, the main gate of the city, you can see just a mushroom cloud ball of fire just kind of rising up from the main sort of headquarters of Soriel, the commander of the Bower King's forces here in town. You've never really been over there, but you can see kind of the silhouette of it lit against this backdrop, and you begin to hear screams from people living in the city or in the outpost begin to rise up in the evening air in the distance. Elkia turns and looks back down at you. Boy, does this have something to do with the people who took your friends? He looks up. I don't know. I don't think so. They left the city. I don't understand. And Elkia looks at all of you kind of frantically. My duty calls. I have to go see what this is. I have to go check this out. I'll come back as quickly as I can, but and he kind of looks a little bit at a loss as to kind of what to do, pulled obviously by this explosion that has racked a portion of the outpost and this boy and his story on the ground.
We'll handle the missing children. You see to the explosion.
Do you have a way to contact me should you need to? Do any of you guys have spells?
Oh, I
be
have
able to like message.
communication stones.
Oh.
I always forget I have these. So I'm actually gonna walk up and I'm gonna walk up and slide one of them into his hand.
Okay.
and just say, I'm unsure how these work, but apparently they communicate at a distance.
Very well. I'll keep it close to me. And he grabs it from your hand. He squeezes your hand kind of gently as he does and says, I'll be as quick as I can. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Don't do anything too dangerous or too stupid. As he looks around all of you, I know that you don't trust me or my kind, but we will be here to help should you need us. But I've got to go check this out. And he kind of lets your hand drop and takes the stone and tucks it into kind of a pouch at his belt. And at this point in time, you can see that the Baron has appeared and has kind of moved through the main room. He's actually flanked at this point in time by his bodyguard, Igrame, which you haven't seen for a little while. The kind of long, kind of dreadlocked, dark-skinned gentleman that you spoke to once before. And beside him also on the other side, you can see the form of the kind of aide, the aide that he has. Gosh, whose name I'm blanking now for some ridiculous reason.
Just give him a new name. We won't judge you.
Oh, I'm not going to. His name is Aleprian Stabble. Yeah, thank you. You see Aleprian next to him in his kind of trademark kind of trench coat / lab coat, his kind of mussy white hair, ink-stained hands as he kind of comes up behind him. The Baron calls out to Elkia. Elkia, what's going on? I don't know, sir. There's been an explosion, some sort of attack, perhaps. This boy says that there are ruffians in the city, and I've got to go and see what's going on. I'll be in contact. We'll send somebody by to let you know what's going on. And the Baron sort of nods. He looks down at all of you, and Elkia heads off out. You can hear the screams continuing to rise, more kind of screams and wails being added to the situation in the city as the Baron kind of looks down at you and at Cole. What can I do? He says.
Look after the boy.
He looks at Cole. Cole looks up, looks at all of you. There's no chance. I'm going with you.
So who wants to break the news to him?
He can see you all.
I'm gonna kneel down next to him.
He can see you all hesitating. You see his lip stop quivering.
Get right at eye level.
He looks you in the eye. They're my friends. It's my brother.
And do you care about them greatly?
Greatly enough to go with you and save them.
It would be a far greater show of devotion to stay.
He looks confused.
I'm gonna roll to persuade.
Okay. What logic are you gonna try and use to convince him that staying is better? Right?
It'll be dangerous if you come. And
having you there will
I'm gonna be a little bit blunt.
Okay.
And you would only get in the way. If you care about your friends, you need to steer clear so that we can save them.
Roll your persuasion check. I'm gonna have you do it at disadvantage.
You are?
This is very close to his heart. I think it's gonna be harder to convince him.
That's a real shame because the first time I rolled a natural 20. David. I have a 23.
Okay. He looks almost tortured. He hears what you're saying, the sort of reasonableness of your tone. he looks at you. He looks back up at you, Akerly.
I pitch in at this point and I give him a very sincere, grateful look as I say, Cole, you've already proven yourself. You've proven yourself to be very brave and very caring and very loyal. But Nazriel is right, and you're already a Knight Fallow, much more than I was at your age. You do understand, though, that glory is won through strength of heart, not strength of arms. You know this. You embody it. So if you stay, it does not make you weaker or less brave. You're still strong. And they'll need you when they get back. But Nazriel is right. We need to be focused, and if you're here, you'll be able to help. You hear those screams? Do you think anyone's helping them? They need you, and they need you here. And everyone's got a job to do. And ours just so happened to mean we're going to go get your friends and bring them back no matter what. And Alkia's out there researching that explosion. But there are people out here in this outpost who don't have anyone to answer their questions or to comfort them. And I know you could do that.
And the Baron kneels down next to you, kind of puts a hand on the shoulder of Cole and says, I could use everybody who knows this outpost, and very few know it backwards and forwards like you do. And you can see him kind of looking up back and forth.
Since I was so blunt, I'll try and lighten it and kind of gesture to Igraman and say, besides, we can't really trust him to take care of the Baron in a situation like this.
You hear kind of a, well now, behind you from Igrame. And I thought we got off on the right foot.
We did, handsome. He turned back to Cole.
You hear a chuckle. He steps up and he looks at Cole and kind of gives him a nod as well. And Cole kind of looking all around, hearing all of these things. He looks back at you all. You'll get them back safe?
We will.
If anyone can, it's you, he says. I'll still take you and I'll show you where they were taken, and hopefully you can find them from there. It's a place to start. And he kind of stands up a bit creakily and kind of brushes himself off. And then kind of sends kind of a crooked smile up at Igrame. You have an extra sword, big guy? Igrame kind of winks at him. I might be able to wrestle something up, he says. And he says, okay, I'll be right back. And then he looks at all of you. We don't have much time. Anything else you guys need to say or do before he leads you out?
I'm going to just inform them at this moment that I'm having strange feelings about things yet again, just to keep them in the loop. Hey guys, from that time I had a nightmare and some bad things happened, getting the same vibes.
Do you think it could be the same person?
Maybe.
Same people?
I think there's a good chance that his brother may not be himself right now.
Well, then this might be an advantage, right? Because now we know kind of what we're going up against, and even though they're scary, we know what they are.
Right at this moment, you hear a scream much closer to you, and you watch as a figure kind of stumbles into view through the door outside. It looks like somebody, maybe a stable hand or somebody who works here at the inn. And you can see that they're screaming, and you can see several small forms, a couple at his feet and one or two kind of crawled up sort of on his back, and you see them kind of stabbing and flailing at him as he kind of stumbles through the door. You recognize these forms. There are 3 or 4 Talaru here. You feel that same sensation, Pim, twinge in your mind as you see them kind of enter into view. As they this guy goes down in a heap. Igrame, like lightning, just jumps past you and out into the thing. You see his hand axes come out, and he begins to kind of go to work on them. the Baron looks at all of you. City, it's under attack, but the children, we need to find out what's happened to them. My gut tells me that there's something more here. Something more. And there's plenty of us to deal with things here. You need to go now before it gets too much worse. As you begin to hear the sounds of kind of snarling and gibbering from these Talaru as Igrame's hand axes begin to fall. You actually see another guard, another Hallow Guard member kind of come into view and begin to kind of pitch in and help with what's going on out front.
I'm going to whirl around to Pim at this point due to the lack of time. Say, just know if you become a threat, Pimover, I will strike you down. And I'm going to run out the door.
No less. I'm just going to say, okay. And then I'm going to say, well, are you ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, Cole looks up at you. I'll strike you down too. And he runs out the door on the bandwagon and begins to lead you. You guys all go?
Yeah.
You hear just kind of a last, be safe from the Baron. As you see him run out, you actually see him run out, kind of looking over your shoulder as he enters the fray with the Talaru, and he just begins swinging fists, and you see a fist clock one of these Talaru, and you see one of them swing around with kind of a dagger and strike him on his vest, and you watch as kind of a purplish sort of energy lights up in the line where the slash is, and the dagger goes flying from the Talaru's hand, and another fist falls and he's like, go, and you guys run and you follow Cole, and he takes you down through the city, and you have to kind of turn off your sense of heroism as you go. You can see there are many Talaru in the outpost. You can see now that several other small kind of houses and homes and buildings are catching fire around, and people are screaming. Everywhere, though, that you see Talaru, you see Hallow Guard. You see elves and men all dressed in the tabard of the Bower King, working and fighting. You can see villagers here in the outpost passing buckets to try and put out fires. And you can see that battle is underway, but there are people here to deal with it. And Cole leads you through back streets, through alleys. You pass at one point through the marketplace. You see Kenku and Talaru fighting, which is an interesting thing to see as you pass in front of Bandyman's Bounty and out beyond. You see him. He actually clocks you as you run, but he doesn't stop to say anything or do anything. As he joins in the fray, and you head towards the sort of north end of the city. I suppose it's actually more of an eastern. I always get it back twisted in my mind. Kind of eastern barricade edge of the city. There are trees that have been left here on the inside, more for shade and for a variety of other things inside of the city. Barricade, and you pass beneath the trees to a spot where the barricade rises, and you can see that a scuffle took place. I won't even make you roll for it. You can see that there was a bit of a scuffle here. You see that the ground has been disturbed. You can see footprints, and if you were to look close enough, you would be able to see sort of splashes of blood as you pull up, and Cole kind of pulls to a stop and says, "Here, it was here." And he kind of walks over towards the barricade, and you see him kind of raise his hand towards the barricade. Right here somewhere and he puts his hand out, and it just passes right through the wood of the stockade. You hear him kind of, and he stumbles and kind of trips and disappears from view through the barricade. What do you do?
I go through.
Okay.
I pause and grab Pim's arm and hold him back for a second.
Pause.
This may sound strange, but if this is anything what I think it is, I think your boat will be safer in someone else's backpack for a minute. If at any point you turn, I think having that in your possession will be an asset to the enemy.
Oh, smart, Averly. Give it to Wicket.
Give it to you. Can
Pause for a second.
Voluntary.
I just
Oh,
think
I'm gonna nod and I'm gonna pull it out of my bag. And I'm gonna turn to Wicket and I'm gonna say, I'm trusting you with this. And I get it back.
Without taking back.
Intact Wicket. Without it being you're not tampering with it. You're holding it.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
I'll take very good care of it.
I hand the boat to Wicket.
You have a little drool, right?
Wicket's just gonna like stare at it for a second with just like pure joy. And then like
We gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go.
Like, look around suspiciously and then like shove it in her bag.
And I'm just gonna turn and nod at eagerly and then turn back.
You hear a voice at this point in time, Wicket, as you're kind of holding the box before you tuck it away. Would you like me to protect it for you? And you turn and you see Adam, which I'm forgot to just kind of mention that he's with you.
Oh, yeah.
You see as he kind of reaches up with one shielded arm, and you hear kind of a clink as he taps his chest and he moves away. And you can see a compartment has opened inside of the kind of metallic body that he's got. It should be big enough, he says.
As Pim just takes it back.
He's gonna like look at the boat kind of sadly. Look at Pim. Look at Adam.
Tell Adam I get it back, Wicket.
I guess you can hold it. And I'm gonna tuck it in. But Pim gets it back.
As you wish, Akamve, he says. And kind of taps it again. And you hear kind of a... and as he pulls it away, you can almost not even tell that there was a spot there. In fact, you spent quite a bit of time cleaning and fixing and didn't even realize this was there.
Am I in immediate danger on the other side, or can I pop my head back
so you went through.
to see
No.
if they're coming?
You push through. You feel almost no resistance as you go through as well, and you find Cole just kind of sitting there on the other side, blinking in the space beyond. A cleared section spreads before you between the stockade and the encroaching forest beyond. The Wyver Wood begins maybe 50, 60 yards away. And the moon has risen at this point in time. You can see the moonlight coming down and filling, kind of silvering the empty space between you and the forest. And Cole just sort of sitting there. I guess, and he's at a loss for kind of what happened. Do me an Arcana check real quick, Nazriel.
I have a 17.
You get the sense after having passed through it, based on past experiences and things, that you think there's some sort of illusion magic at work here. That more than likely something, a chunk of the stockade has been cleared, or an opening has been made, and then it has been kind of glossed over with illusory magic of some kind. Is your guess as you kind of find him on the other side. The rest of you, after spending just a moment with Adam, you don't see anybody else, by the way. Nobody's here sort of waiting for you, just the two of you, as everybody else is hanging out on the other side. Nobody's...
I'm going to pull Cole back up to his feet and physically turn him back to go through.
Okay. Wait.
I'm going to pause.
Are you sure?
If this villain is looking for children, it's best not to give him another one.
He looks down, a bit saddened and
I do
confused.
acknowledge your noble intentions, though.
He nods, and turning and kind of cocking his head and listening to the sounds inside of the city. My people need me, he says, and he disappears
Off
back
with you,
through.
lads. Send my friends out.
And he passes back through. You guys watch as Cole passes through, It's an illusion, he says. It's all clear on the other side. I better go.
Quick question. Is the barricade connected to the armory that we were at earlier in any way?
Not directly, no.
Okay.
The armory is set away from the stockade, kind of in the center of the Hallow Guard. But not directly against the stockade fence.
Okay.
This is gonna hop through.
So am I.
Okay. You all pass through. You find yourself on the other side. What do you do?
About time.
Need to look where they are. Can we do perception or investigation? Investigation.
If you're looking for tracks or signs, you can do either investigation or survival for me. So anyone that has those or is proficient in those, you can give me
I
rolls.
have half proficiency. I have a +3 on survival.
I have a +5.
On
So
survival?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have +5 as well.
who has solid investigation? So let's pick one survival roll, one investigation roll, and you guys can kind of, or I guess whichever of your characters feel like you would be like, "Ooh, this is my thing. I want to do this," and you can kind of go into it. Character.
I'm going to
Who
do
has
a
good
survival roll.
investigation?
I have a 2 investigation.
I have a 2 as well.
Hey,
I have a
Anyone
5
higher than that?
investigation.
You
Yeah.
could
I
leave.
have 1
So-
survival.
we'll do Pim and
Abby,
Anchorly.
do investigation.
Me?
Because you have the highest investigation.
And then you can do a survival check for me, Pim, just on the side as you both kind of tuck in together.
I have a 23.
I got a natural 20.
Nice.
Woo!
Between the two of you kind of working together, kind of checking the space around, you look at the ground, you look for signs, and relatively quickly find signs of more struggle, as it would appear small feet have made footprints and disturbed the ground at sort of awkward kind of angles, and clearly it seems like there was a bit of a scuffle. And you see with the natural 20, you see that there's at least one set of larger footprints and then a variety of smaller footprints all together, and that they are clearly heading off away from the stockade and into the edge of the forest. You were able to pick up a trail pretty clearly. I think probably also, for whatever it's worth, Bitsy, right around now, regardless, I guess, and I didn't really think about this a second ago, these footprints flare into life with amber energy as you stand out here as well, and you look down. And again, it is brighter by far than anything you've experienced thus far with what's happening.
Guys, we gotta help them. Where are they?
You can see that the footprints kind of head off again in a line towards the forest.
Is it lit up?
Bitsy doesn't even have to investigate.
I just start going. I'm like, over here. Destiny is showing the way.
You're all you two that rolled real well are super confident. You totally found this, and Bitsy runs off, following exactly the line of footprints in the trail that you guys discovered here a second ago.
Yes, that way. we did that.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Caspian kind of doing this beside her along the ground.
I follow after Bitsy.
Okay,
I follow as well.
you all take off. Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to just kind of make up ground?
I think at this moment, I'm trying to make up ground. Are we getting into the
I was
forest
kind of
area at
thinking
all?
that as well, but now maybe we should rethink that.
Well, it's too late. We were already thinking it, so we're just going
So all of
fast.
us are just clambering. through the
You
woods
guys
to
were
get
thinking
down.
it.
Instinct Bitsy has is just we
You
gotta
guys
get
were
them.
thinking it.
That's practically in character.
Are we
so-
going into the forest?
That's where the footprints lead.
Okay, I
Or-
think maybe a couple feet into the forest, I slow down a bit and start trying to.
Him would definitely be trying, he would go into his stealth mode. He kind of understands that there's stuff in this
Yeah.
area that could be dangerous. So Pim would definitely start being more cautious.
So we're
Yeah, I
all
think once
trying to be
Bitsy hits the
stealthy.
woods, it's definitely like
Wicket
a
just
switch.
follows what everyone else is doing.
Okay.
So she notices they are being stealthy, so she
stealthy.
Okay, so did you decide? So the way that travel is going to work is if you're being stealthy, it's going to slow you down to about half your normal speed. Moving through it, so you can go normal speed. You can go faster than normal speed, in which case you'll have like no chance at being stealthy at all. Normal speed will depend on perception checks from baddies if there's any baddies around. Stealth will be a slower, more careful sort of. It'll be represented by actually slowing you down because you're taking time to kind of be careful as you go. So what's the decision?
Okay, actually, I'm gonna say because Pim has these boots that he got a long time ago that make him like silent whenever he's moving, so he can't really be detected.
Okay.
So because of that and because of the situation that we're in, I'm gonna say Pim's just gonna go in.
So he's gonna head out sort of faster than the rest of you. Are the rest of you gonna go a little slower and stealthier as Pim scouts ahead?
Yeah. I would be wanting to make up ground since kids are in danger.
See,
I'm
that's
with Nazriel.
I think like whoever is naturally slightly more stealthy should be in the front.
I have a +7 on stealth.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn around and say, Nazriel, I think that we should go forward. The rest of you, keep your eyes out and stay a little behind us.
Okay, once again, if a Nazriel's stealthing with you, it's going to slow you down by half. So if you're making up ground, you're not allowed to roll stealth. Him, I would let you roll stealth and go full speed because you're a monk and you have your boots.
Okay.
So you could shoot out ahead of people a bit. You've got a bit. You've got an extra 10 feet of movement, so you're faster than everybody. So you could scout ahead a little bit, so that you at least are kind of feeling things out before everybody else stumbles onto something. But if the rest of you want to go kind of normal speed to make up speed, then we wouldn't. We would just ignore the stealth rolls on this, and Pim would be kind of scouting ahead.
I think it's
You guys wanna do-
I think it'd be valuable to see what we're getting ourselves into. I think it's
I agree.
You
I'd
guys
be
just
worried
wanna
to
go
send
your
him over
normal-
alone.
You guys
yeah.
want to go your normal speed, and I'll just scout slightly ahead since I can go a little faster because I'm a halfling.
You can
Or-
take Caspian with you, and then you can send Caspian back if there's.
Okay.
We're gonna send Caspian to babysit him.
I'm gonna pull Caspian off my shoulder and be like, "Here, Caspian. If anything happens, you come back really, really fast, but don't let anyone know where you're going, and you let us know so we can help him. Okay?"
And he pops up.
I'm gonna pull out my spear so that it's ready to go, and then I'm gonna start scouting ahead a little bit.
The rest
Okay.
of us are gonna.
Sounds like a plan. So you pull out your stuff. You head in that direction. I was just double checking. Nobody got past without a trace in their Kaima, right? Is that a thing in my brain that I'm
I
just
don't
making up?
remember the first spell that I got. To be honest,
I don't remember the
the
first spell
second one I
either.
got.
I got light and words of radiance. Huh.
I know I have cure wounds because that's the last one I got. I don't remember what the first one I got was.
I have detect magic and sacred flame.
I have told the dead.
Spare the dying and inflict wounds.
Okay, so nobody has passed without a trace. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so you take off.
Although I do have invisibility.
That would help.
Let me take a look at that again real quick. Hold on. Does that
That's
say
part of the feature that I just got.
right? Does that let you stealth while moving full speed? That's what we need to figure out real quick.
No idea. Hold on, and I'll pull it up.
Spells. And what did this come from? Oh, there we go.
I'm 3rd level and higher, so I can turn 2 people invisible. Awesome.
What is this from? Feature?
From the feature I just got.
Which is called Shadow
Touch.
Touched. And you can do this.
I say we just run headlong into danger.
I don't know if this takes a
Well,
spell slot. I'm going
though.
to say not.
Last time I did that, I literally caught on fire.
That's true.
I can. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I don't know that invisibility makes you immediately obviously stealthy. I think you get sort of like advantages. Let me look up the spell real quick. Because this is something I want to know.
This is why I have a DM, so that I can cast spells I'm unfamiliar with in really awesome ways.
I mean, it just casts invisibility, makes you invisible. Right. It doesn't, it just makes, oh, invisible is a condition. Invisible creature is impossible to see without the aid of magic or a special sense. For the purpose of hiding, the creature is heavily obscured. The creature's location can be detected by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves. Attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage, and the creature's attack rolls have advantage. You can use invisibility if you want to. It won't technically make you stealthy, so you still wouldn't really be able to run up with because you'd be making noise if you were moving full speed. So you wouldn't be able to run up with Pim per se and just automatically be stealthy if you're invisible. Does that make sense? But it gives you a lot of advantages if you're trying to hide or be stealthy. It makes it very impossible, and they also have massive like disadvantage against you when they're trying to attack you and things while you're invisible. So that's a really cool thing to have. So
okay. Then I'm just gonna leave it be if Pim's gonna scout ahead. That way I don't blow his cover.
Okay, sounds
Unless
good.
you want a companion, but then I'd slow you down.
It's okay.
Okay, you guys watch as Pim's spear comes out. Gorgeous spear. You're using your father's spear at this point, right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous sort of mahogany, sort of a dark wood, inlaid with sort of silver detailing. Spins out, and I don't know, Naruto style. You kind of put it out behind you and kind of take off monk style in front of you. And head off into the forest in front of you. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check. Make it with advantage because of the boots and all your monkishness. And the rest of you will follow behind. With Adam kind of clunking next to you. He's not as loud as he used to be because you did spend some quality time kind of getting him maintained.
Just to clarify, guys,
Welcome, by the way.
or are we just pushing ahead?
Commented.
Say that again, Britt.
I said, just to clarify, are we trying to be stealthy or are we just pushing ahead?
You just said you wanted to make up ground. You're letting Pim go ahead of you stealthily. Pim's going to get out in front of you stealthily, so that hopefully he can find anything first, and then get back to you
and warn us as we try and make up ground. Got it.
I got a 25, Dave.
Okay, rock on. Okay, you head out and begin to follow the tracks that you were able to kind of find, looking for things in the woods. Let's say you travel. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, just to make sure that you can kind of, or survival, whichever works best for you.
Okay,
maybe another survival check as you.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure that you can continue to kind of.
23.
Okay, awesome. Continue to kind of find your way. You are able to follow the tracks just fine. You see kind of snapped twigs and bent leaves and kind of broken ferns and things that kind of indicate passage through here. And you see a kind of makeshift trail. You enter the Wyverwood, and it is you've been in the Wyverwood before. It's a bit less, just a tiny bit less creepy here, close to Baronhold, because people have come in and cleared out some of the creepy crawlies in the edges here. But it's still a mildly oppressive forest that you're in. The trees kind of roll up over you. They block out the majority of the light from the moon above you. Things, if I wanted to be a stickler, you technically wouldn't be able to see very well without pulling out a light of some kind or a torch of some kind. And if we're not being sticklers, what fun are we having? Do you have a way of doing light?
I have a torch in my backpack.
Okay.
And a tinderbox.
Okay. So none of you have like a cantrip, just for future, a cantrip that can give her light or give him light?
My chimera is light. I just don't know if I can hand that. Can I just take it off and hand it to her?
Nope. So the way that light works on your kaima is it just lights up your kaima, so it gives you a light source, but it's not something that can be transferred. So So yeah, if you pull out a torch, you probably are going to have to if you want to make headway. But you are moving very quietly, very stealthily, and very quickly with this torch. So I'm going to have you also do a perception check for me, just to be kind of listening for any kind of sounds or signs of people nearby around you beyond just the trail that you're following.
Do you not have dark vision?
I don't know.
Halflings don't.
I keep forgetting that you don't have it.
Yeah.
I have a 16.
I knew there was a reason why we usually scout together, and I was trying to remember why, and it's because I have dark vision.
Wicket up and like brought her with you.
Carrying Wicket on my back.
Because he's still through the forest.
And you travel 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes following this track through the forest, and you begin to get into a deeper, sort of darker section of the wood. You begin to hear sounds around you. You don't imagine that they're anything beyond just the sounds of nature, but it's the deep insect, kind of heavy sounds of insects in the trees around you. You hear a slither and a kind of hiss every once in a while, and remember, this is called the Wyverwood for a reason, that there are serpents, an abnormal kind of amount of serpents in this wood. You can kind of hear them slithering off through the woods and the forest around you, but nothing seems to kind of bother you or come out near you. You don't hear anything that makes you put you in mind of human or other kind of humanoid or monstrous things as you travel. So that passes you through for about 15 minutes. You make really good ground in that 15 minutes. And then you finally, ahead of you, through the woods, beyond your torchlight and farther on, you begin to see the flicker of firelight coming through the tree trunks. And as you close in just a little bit closer, you can begin to hear some voices kind of filtering towards you through the wood from the direction of the fire. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to stop.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell Caspian to go inform the rest of the group that there are people, or at least there's firelight ahead. And I'm going to send him back towards the rest of the group.
He kind of salutes and he hops off and scampers back through the forest in the direction of your friend.
And then I'm going to try to just get close enough, if I can, without being seen, to try and see if I can tell who's there or like how many people there are.
Okay. You drop your torch at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. You drop your torch. Go ahead and do me another stealth roll. With advantage? I'm pretty sure that those boots give you advantage on stealth.
Yeah, I have advantage on stealth normally.
Gotcha.
Yeah. $24.
Okay. Yeah, without much of a problem, you're able to. I always, with halflings and stealth, I'm a big, ridiculous Lord of the Rings Tolkien fan, and this is one of those things about hobbits, right? That they can sneak through the woods without the whisker of a weasel even noting their passing. So we get this very sort of Bilbo Baggins moment as you. Much cooler, more Eastern flavored version of Bilbo Baggins, kind of shifting through the woods and the shadows and the darkness from tree to tree, avoiding the majority of things that would make your presence known. And you draw near enough, close enough, that you're able to see what amounts to a clearing of sorts that opens up before you. It's a relatively large space where trees have been kind of cut down and removed. And you see beyond you several tents, sort of simple, rustic sort of tents have been set up. Very sort of military, sort of straight triangular sort of tents set up. Around a fireplace, you see stacks of wood. You can see in the flicker of the firelight, you can see a few other small buildings, a couple of wagons kind of off to one side, and the shadow or hint of a smaller kind of wooden building tucked back beyond everything. And as you sit, and go ahead and make me another perception roll now as you pull up.
18.
Okay. You see several figures kind of rotating in places around. And as you kind of look and kind of eyeball, you make a count. It seems like there's probably about 4 kind of normal looking human people here in this clearing. A couple of them, one is standing watch in front of the sort of shadowy wooden building in the distance, just kind of standing what looks to be guard in one place. One of them stands between the tents and is kind of looking out beyond the tents, sort of in your direction, although you're safely tucked away in the wood, at the edge of the wood line, but is kind of keeping watch. And the other 2 are moving around. One's moving around the fireplace, or the central sort of fire in the camp, and another one is moving around near a sort of building that looks like maybe it's meant to keep supplies in. A small sort of hay roof, low sort of triangular building. You see a couple of horses and a makeshift corral off to one side of it, and it looks like it's a bit of a camp for a few people here. As far as you can tell, it's just the 4 humanish looking people here in camp.
So I'm gonna kind of backtrack a little bit back where I came out of.
Okay.
So that I can go let the group know what's going on.
Okay. So after about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, you guys are kind of, as Pim kind of suddenly reappears in your midst, very stealthily, and pops in among you. Caspian has arrived already sooner than this and has hopped up, and in his Caspianish way informed you, Bitsy, that Pim has noticed something up in the distance and has put you guys on alert. So did you guys slow down or kind of keep trucking along until you run into Pim?
Keep trucking.
Trucking along.
Okay. So after a few more minutes, when Caspian finds you, Pim comes kind of running back into your sight in the woods.
Okay.
There's 4 people that I can see. Looks like one of them is standing guard in front of a building. I'm not sure if there's anyone in there or not.
Okay. So
Kids might be.
what's the plan then? We just go in guns blazing, or should we? I feel like maybe we should go and try and locate the kids first, right? Like find out where they are, get them out first, and
Wait.
then see if we can fight people off.
Was the building like an actual building?
Like a small, dark wooden house. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure if the people mean us any harm. I didn't really get close enough.
I mean, there's 4 of them and 6 of us. So
Perhaps I could
might
serve
be
as a
closer to
distraction.
Yeah, we could.
Entertaining crowds.
True. Maybe all of us shouldn't make ourselves known right away.
Right. You said you had invisibility, Pim, right?
And Azrael has invisibility.
Nazriel.
Do you have invisibility as well, Pim?
Could you sneak up to the house? Like, did the windows look barricaded at all? Do you think Nazriel could sneak up to the house and see if the kids are?
It doesn't
in there?
even have to be me. I can cast it on up to 2 other people.
True.
It's any creature.
And Pim's the stealthier one, so the invisibility plus stealth, we could go check out the house real quick without having to fight anyone, just to make sure the kids are in there, A, and B, if there are any, like, other people we should be wary of in there.
I also have minor illusion, which can create a sound somewhere else.
Ah. So maybe if Bitsy causes a distraction,
Mhm.
then me and Azrael could go closer to the house and see if the kids are in there.
Yeah. I feel like we want to try and get them out without too much attention. I feel like it'd be hard to try to protect kids at the same time as trying to fight.
Well,
Yeah.
I have disguise, self, silent image, and invisibility that can all be used in this kind of situation.
Okay. So the question is, do we want everyone to go?
No.
Or
Otherwise, I can
anything-
just walk in and say hello.
no, I think we want to be as stealthy as possible.
Possible.
You all could go get a closer look.
Just go get a closer
Sure.
look, see where the kids are at, how many people we're going to be fighting, if any of them we should be wary of.
Mhm.
And then if anything happens, we'll have people in the back who can charge in.
Right.
Instead of everyone being stuck in the center.
I can probably get pretty close without being detected.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's try that.
Let's get some more info. So now we're stealthing.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I'll
have all of you roll stealth checks then.
I have a 22.
But 23.
I have a 10. So it's like,
Betsy's a 10 or Akerly?
No. Akerly has a 10. Bitsy has a 4.
Oh, Bitsy.
She just walked in
That
the
just
space
balanced
lab.
out both of our rolls, Rachel. So Beth, what did you get?
Beth,
I
please
got
do
a
the details.
21.
Can I give my elven shoes to Bitsy?
I think I don't.
I think we'll be okay. I think it counts. We just have to
I
succeed as a
think we
group.
can carry
Bitsy!
yeah.
Wicket rolled a 21.
Okay, so I think
real
that helps
quick,
carry it out.
Wicked, I'm gonna have you roll for Adam. It's just a straight roll. He doesn't have any dex and no particular skill in stealth, so just a straight D20
I just
stealth.
rolled a 13.
Okay.
Oh wait, if half of us succeed, we all succeed, right? Isn't that how this works?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So you've got a 23, a 22, and a 21 in your group.
Oh, we're fine. Okay, we're good.
Let me just make some rolls here real quick.
What did Adam get?
It's
13.
just a d20, so he got a 13.
It's still better than what I rolled.
What did he get? What?
13.
I rolled a 13 on the d20. And
Okay.
you said not to add anything, right?
No, he's got nothing to add. So
Just 13.
I
okay.
have a good feeling. I think we're okay.
You guys, you creep up to the edge of the wood, to the very edge of the forest where it opens into this sort of cleared area. And I will just go ahead and show you what you see.
This means that he's ready for us to fight them.
About to have a battle.
There are a lot of ways to sort of deal with encounters, and I just want you to have a clear idea of what you're in so you can decide how you want to tackle it. There's always the option to not do it violently, to try and figure something out non-violent. So, okay.
We do want to remember that these people, like the brother's probably not in his right mind. And we don't want to hurt the brother, so we're gonna have to be
thinking the
also-
same thing.
about this.
We want to find out why they're there.
Yeah,
So I
so we
feel like
don't
part of this
necessarily
mission
want it to
is
attack.
rescue, but also
Figure out what's
subdue
going on.
and investigate.
Yeah, we need to rescue and contain rather than destroy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
So,
that a rock on the side?
yes. So you all pull up. I'm just going to set you sort of right here behind this log that's right here. Just, you're on this edge of the woods over here. Can you see all of those?
That's so cute, David.
Are we doing? Wait, show me.
Adorable.
You're not done. You're not all done. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So I'm going to use this ogre as Adam, and he's kind of hanging out with you back here. So, but yeah, so this is what you see. There is a path, the path right here that that they kind of followed, that you followed on the way in, that leads into the camp and is cleared out. There's a big rock off to the one side over there. There's the tent. You can see a guy here kind of keeping watch out behind the tents. There's another person here around the fireplace. There's a guy standing guard in front of this building back here, and then another person kind of standing guard and kind of patrolling kind of in this area off in this direction here. So, and we'll just say that you've stealthed your way up pretty close to things here.
Are there any windows on that house?
You would probably have to get a closer look. You don't see any windows from the angle that you're at, but you could try to stealth around a bit and get a closer look. In fact, on the strength of your stealth rolls, let's just have those of you that want to at this point do perception checks to see if you can kind of see all the way across camp and get a look at it without getting closer.
I have a +4 on perception.
Okay, go ahead and Azrael.
I have a 22.
Okay. Awesome. I think with a 22, you're probably good to go. You can see as you kind of move through the edge of the wood and try to get a view on either side, it looks to just be a straight up wooden building. No windows, no openings, just the door that's behind the guy standing in front of it.
So if we open that door, it's going to notify everyone in that building that someone's coming in.
Essentially, we're going to have to get him to walk away from the building in order for us to get inside.
I do have. I just, at this rate, we got to decide like how.
Should we take a step back in the log? Are they going to hear us chatting?
Scenario? Because I have alter self. So if we could somehow get that guy away from the door, I could change myself to look like him. But again, this is us deciding how under the radar do we want to be until we know what's in that building, or do at this rate do we go knock people out and then just
or are they in one of the tents?
They could be.
I don't think they put them in a tent. Too
Well, we don't know.
Don't technically know who these people are, or if these are actually the people we're looking for.
So I think maybe we divide and conquer.
So the question is, do we want to send someone in and see if they are reasonable, nice people who aren't hiding captive children? Or do we just assume that they are and try and find our way in?
Question. How far is the little shed again? Feet-wise?
It's across the camp. It's like 65, 70 feet away. You guys are technically probably tucked back a little farther, so I'd say 70, 75 feet away.
Okay.
If Britt were to cast invisibility on me, David, would my stealth and everything still work the same?
You would roll stealth. They would have like uber disadvantage trying to notice you, basically, as you move forward. You would have, you already have advantage on stealth, but they would also have like super disadvantage on perception rolls to notice you.
I could try to like get into the building.
You and I could go in invisible because I'm also super stealthy.
So we could try and invisible our way around the campsite and figure out where
Do
they
you know
are.
how many friends there are?
How many what?
How many friends?
We see 4 outside.
Cole,
No.
Cole has
Or there could be more.
Cole has 3 friends that he mentioned.
Oh.
Jen
Okay.
and Paul and Truan, his 3 kind of knights,
And then
fallow
his
buddies.
brother.
And then his brother who was kidnapper.
His brother supposedly is the one that beat him up and
The
took
one
the
that took
kids
them. Okay.
and told him to bring you if he wanted to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we figure out what the kids are and then go from there.
Okay.
This smells so fishy.
Yeah. That's why we
Okay,
stealth.
so how do we want to do this? Just so we come to a consensus.
Pim is gonna go in and see if he can spot them all stealth-wise. Come
we
back
do
and
the
report to
invisibility
us, and then we decide.
I think we do an Asriel and him.
Yeah, I think me
Visible
and an
and just
Azrael should
divide.
go divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You guys
The
gonna
rest-
gonna do this, or are you gonna kind of go together to get a look?
I think we're gonna divide.
We could meet
so that
behind the rock.
Some can
Yeah.
check out like the tents and the other can check out the building.
Okay.
We can try and figure out where they are. The rest of you just stay alert, and if it seems like commotion's happening,
Ben.
I will say Bitsy's
Are we
gonna make
gonna
the
hurt
point.
them or not?
Bitsy's gonna make the point. We're dealing with the Talaru. So inherently there might be some magical stuff going on. So just be extra aware when you peek into tents.
See,
and
but do we
stuff
know that?
of
Like,
traps and charms and
that's why I'm
stuff.
saying this is fishy, that there was no Talaru involved in the kidnapping, but on the same day that the kids are kidnapped, the Talaru attack the city.
well,
And
obviously
I'm
they
saying
have
too,
something
even
to
with-
do with it because
with Pim's feelings and
because of
everything.
brother, yeah. So I'm assuming that
Hey,
Talaru did this.
Akerly,
Mm.
do a nature check for me. Since you rolled the natural 20 on the investigation earlier.
23.
Based on that, as you were looking at footprints and noticing footprints earlier, you noticed a lot of little people footprints.
Oh, the Talaru are here.
There were kid footprints, but you did also notice some footprints that looked suspiciously draconic, and got a hint that maybe they belonged to Talaru feet. So, and I would imagine that you would have noticed there was quite a few of them. You, I think, got the sense that this was a place where they took children out, might also have been a place where they got in to the outpost, that stockade, that area of stockade. But there seemed to be clearly Talaru footprints in the mix.
So they're obviously interconnected. And what we know about both the gang that wanted Pim's bow and the Talaru who were attacking the pixies and the sprites, that both groups had a similar objective of seeking magical items and magical things.
Yep.
And so definitely, I think maybe that's why they called us out.
Okay.
They want boat, but
Okay.
We
Okay.
need to get going. These kids need to get saved.
Okay. You ready, Azrael?
I'm ready. I'm gonna step forward and cast invisibility.
Okay. I don't think that it takes any rolls or any saves or anything like that. It just happens. So if there's a spot to mark off your use of it or whatever, I'm not sure how that feature works. Make sure you mark it off.
Yep.
And you all watch as the spell is cast, and Pim and Anazriel fade into the ether, into the background, and take off. So you all are going to head in like a variety of directions here.
I think it would be best if Pim took the building, because halflings have a more natural stealth to be able to kind of get by people unseen.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'll take the buildings. You take the tents.
So I'll take the tent.
So
Yeah.
we'll say that Nazriel, you head off kind of in this direction towards the tent, and that we'll say then, Pim, that you're heading. Are you staying around the edges and kind of looking, or are you cutting right into the camp?
I'm probably still going to kind of go around the edges and then try and come around the side and like hop in behind the dude.
And your goal is to get kind of around to here somewhere, like
Yeah.
over here to get a look at this.
So you're checking the building and that one tent near the building, and I'm checking these 3 tents, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go ahead and start me off with stealth rolls with advantage.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Woo!
So glad I had advantage. I have a 20 total.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a dirty 20.
So you all head off stealthily into the camp and make your way around. As you enter in and move more closely, things come into a bit more view. The camp, there are a few tents here. There is the building there. There are a couple of horses, some wagons that have been here. The permanent kind of things that are here, the tents and buildings and kind of trappings of the camp, seem fit for a small amount of human people to kind of be involved here. But you do notice that the whole place is trampled and muddied by many footprints, and many of them being very small footprints. And I think you get the sense that there's been a human camp here, but that more recently many Talaru may have kind of entered and been here and or kind of jumped off from here towards the outpost or something, and you're not sure exactly what that looks like. But things come into view. You get a closer look at these 4 human individuals who look they look like, as far as you can tell, kind of run-of-the-mill, thuggish kind of cronies, if that makes sense. You don't notice anything super fancy about them. But yeah, go ahead and roll for me, I guess, perception checks as you kind of get closer and try and get a much kind of closer view, each of you, of the tents versus the...
I have a 17.
Okay.
I have an 18.
Okay. And you pass Anasriel, you pass basically right in front of this guy who is kind of looking off into this area. And with your stealth roll and his perception roll, you're able to kind of pass right along. You're in the back kind of section of these tents. So you're going to be kind of getting down and trying to sort of lift up and look inside of the tents. Is that what you're trying to do, or just listening?
I guess so, since I'm supposed to be checking the tents. So
okay.
Well, we'll do it that way, I suppose.
Okay, so we'll say that. And what did you get for perception, Anasriel?
An 18.
Okay. Okay, so you're able to kind of get down and kind of lift the canvas up very quietly at the bottom of each of these tents and kind of peer on the inside. You see makeshift sleeping rolls, kind of sleeping mats on the inside, a variety of camp-related items, packs, and so on and so forth on the inside. And you move from one to the next and then the next. And you see signs of maybe the soldiers, the guards having slept in here. You do not see any small forms kind of bundled up or tied up inside of the tents here as you move around. You're going to kind of head out and then come back, or did you want to work all the way around towards the other edge, towards the building?
I'm going to work all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in particular note in that tent, right?
Nope, nothing in in any of the tents that you can see as you kind of make your way around. And I'll head you towards this rock, and then and based on that perception, we just kind of spend the whole kind of track, keeping your eyes peeled for any signs, and don't see any little struggling forms or any little tied up forms. Maybe check those wagons as you kind of pass by, if Pim doesn't get to them first. Pim, you rolled a 17, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So there are kind of two buildings. There's this sort of smaller building right here that's got this simple sort of thatch roof and a small door in the front of it. And as you kind of move towards it and behind it, you don't really see any way of getting into it other than that little door in front of it. This guy is kind of restlessly just strolling kind of back and forth right here as you kind of move in that direction. But the doors shut. There's no way of kind of really looking in or peering in without maybe trying to get your hands in and kind of rip thatch back and kind of look on the inside. So it's almost impossible to tell. With a 17, you maybe spend a minute kind of listening.
Mm-hmm.
And as you listen, you don't hear much with a 17 as you are headed over in this direction. As you get closer to the bigger building, you again get a much more solid look, and there again are no windows or anything. If you get close enough, there might be a shot you could maybe peer in through a crack or something. So let's have you do that. We'll put you closer there and kind of looking in. In fact, both buildings are rudimentarily sort of built. So if you want to do another perception check at these buildings as you try to kind of find, or maybe an investigation check to see if you can find like a crack or something to kind of peer through into these buildings.
A 19.
Awesome. Do you stop at both of the buildings or just
yeah.
Okay. So the first one, kind of an investigation, you kind of look around and you eventually do find a split where an uneven section of log left a bit of a gap, and you kind of peer your way into the space here. And as you look in, you do see a small sort of silhouetted form sitting on the inside of this building. And as you kind of peer through the darkness, you can see that the first figure that you see is kind of shaking or shivering or quivering slightly. It's really dark and you don't have dark vision, so it's hard to see much more beyond that. You do see a second. This is in this little thatched building right here, yeah.
Okay.
And you see a second form next to them with an arm kind of around and kind of patting another small form next to them, patting that one as they sit there. It's really hard to make out details, but you see only two figures here in this space. Do you continue to the next building as well?
Yeah.
So go ahead and do another investigation check to see if there's any chinks.
I got 20.
Nice. you kind of poke around and you do find another kind of space. These buildings are slapdash. They've been just thrown together, you can tell. And so it's not super hard to find a space to kind of peer your way through. There's actually a lantern of some sort on the inside of this building, and that maybe helps you find a bit of a crack to look through. And as you look through, you can see that the building is it's bare earth floor. Pretty much no furniture other than maybe a bench up against one side that has this lantern on it. And you can see what looks to be a mausoleum of some kind. There is a small sort of grave stone. It's not a small grave stone. It is a small grave building. Does that make sense? So sometimes in cemeteries there will be largish sort of kind of building-sized things that you can go inside and have kind of memorials to things on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's on a small scale. There is a small kind of stone opening at the front of it, big enough to kind of step through, and it seems to have been opened in some way. You see just a hint of flickering light coming out of the opening of this thing, and this building has kind of been placed around this kind of headstone. There are no other individuals in there that you can see, just the one standing inside. Right about this time, and Azriel works her way around, kind of up, kind of quietly at the back of this building.
Did you see anything?
No, you.
From what I can see, there seems to be 2 children in the building back there. I don't know where the other 2 are, but there is something strange in this house. Seems to be a sort of mausoleum.
Not that you can see it since we're invisible. But
Oh, right. Right.
I'm gonna kind of look really confused. Did you say a mausoleum?
Yeah. It's not particularly big, but there was a little bit of light. It seems open. I'm not sure.
Your call, Pimliver. What do you want us to do?
Right about this time, you hear "Oi, you hear something?" And kind of the shuffle of footsteps, and you see kind of a figure kind of walk back and kind of peer around the back corner of the place here. You guys do another stealth roll for me with advantage.
Really, really hard to hold the spell.
It's like ultra focus.
Ultra focus. Wait, what was I rolling?
Stealth advantage.
I have a 26.
I almost got it.
It's fun to be a stealthy character.
I have a dirty 20. So.
Okay. You guys stop breathing and kind of hunker, and you can see this character peering, dark, kind of matted, kind of stringy hair, kind of peering around, hand on a short sword, looking through the building. "Oi, you're jumping at shadows again," he says. "There's nothing here. Same as before." And you can see him kind of move off again out towards the...
It's definitely back at the front now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're...
Seems like you
I
were
could've-
close enough and talking loudly enough, and they rolled a good enough perception check to hear you kind of whispering behind the building.
Stop talking and come back.
I'm going to be as quiet as humanly possible.
Or just walk back and then talk.
I mean, I guess we could do that.
Those stealth rolls were good enough to kind of get you back to the group if you'd like to just kind of reconvene.
We'll reconvene with the group and let them know what's going on and come up with a plan.
Okay. You guys make it
So
safely
you're gonna
back to the
whisper
edge.
that to me, and I will make my way that way as well.
Okay. You guys show back up. Super stealthily. I doubt anyone notices you approach, but you rejoin the group.
Trying to think of a way to let them know that we're back without them like screaming because we're back. I don't want to surprise them and have them alert people.
We'll
I
see.
mean, would you guys be stupid enough to scream?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we're expecting you, so.
Okay. Then I'm gonna come up, and I'm actually not gonna let the spell drop.
Okay.
Just in case we still need it, because I think this is like a once every long rest,
Right.
because it's a feature.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna let the spell drop, but I'm gonna join the group. Hey,
What's going on?
We're back.
Did you find them?
There were two people inside the thatched house. I couldn't see them clearly, but they were small and seemed scared.
There's only two? He said he's missing 3 friends.
There were only 2 that I could see. There might have been a third in there. I couldn't get a really good look.
Okay, so that's what we know. Okay. We got this.
But there seems to be something strange going on in the house.
Okay, so we need to get inside both places, and we need to get some people out, and we need to stay in one place long enough to figure out what's going on there.
Wait, why do we need to care? Why do we need to care?
We need to know what's happening. There's a reason they're here, and there's a reason they wanted to see us specifically.
Yeah, but should we do that with the kids around? Like, should we just focus on getting them out and safe first?
I think so. So
either way, we need to
first-
find the third child.
Oh God. Oh.
One thing at a time. Let's focus on getting the kids out.
They might know where the third one is. So
So
Okay.
the question is, how do we get the 2 kids out without alerting them?
Or
we just alert them.
Or
I
we-
think at this rate, we just alert them.
What if you could like invisible one of the kids and give your special shoes to the other kid, and then you guys could sneak out together?
can
I
you
can't.
invisible?
It's a one-time use.
Okay. So we really just need a distraction
Besides,
big
we
enough.
have to open the door, and I think regardless, they'd hear us.
So we just have to make a distraction big enough where we get all 4 of them away for a
think
long
we're
enough
nervous
period of
about it.
time.
Me and Azrael could go back over to the thatched house, and if you guys could make a distraction, we could try to slip in and get them out without being noticed, but I don't know for sure if that'll work.
What if you use your noise thing and make it go get
don't-
distracted?
I don't think that'll be big enough for all 4 of them to leave. I think a noise in the forest might get one of them away.
What kind of noises can you make?
Small noises. But question, Dad.
Animal noises or like
Question.
twig snapping?
Yeah.
Question, Dad. Do you remember in our 0 session,
Okay.
you remember those giant spiders we ran into?
Yeah.
The ettercaps.
Yes, I-
Uh-huh.
Are those beasts?
They're creatures. Yeah.
Okay, so I have wild shape.
Oh.
So could
Ah,
I wild shape into a big menacing spider that I've seen before?
I think with wild shape, you can do creatures, but they have to be under a certain challenge rating. And I think they
Mhm.
might have to be beasts, and technically those would be more monsters than beast. Actually, there are
I have
monsters that are
silent-
beasts, but I don't. The spiders would be more like monstrosities than beasts, so they wouldn't fit that category. But
Mhm.
you could.
I have silent image. I could make the image of that if you wanted to provide some like skittering, scary sounds.
Yeah, so I can't do both. So that's what I'm thinking. We need something big to like get them all trying to get it away.
Yeah, so you could turn
good idea.
into anything with a CR of half, and that would be like large wolf, mastiff.
Does you have to have seen the beast in person, or is an image of the beast good enough?
It says that you have seen before, so it doesn't specify anything other than seen. So as long as somebody can show her what she's changing into, or if
So
she's seen it.
If you remember in our first episode, when Cole got us caught by the people and then tried to run away, I scared him by using the image of a giant Arctic wolf.
All right, that's
That
I
would
could
be a
do
beat, right?
that. What's the challenge rating of a giant wolf?
Let me look.
I don't know how to find the challenge rating.
I don't know how big it is. I just know it was a big wolf.
So the winter wolf, the large winter wolf, would be above you, but in terms of just a kind of general wolf, which you would surely have seen before. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not a problem. You could definitely turn into kind of a regular wolf. Yeah, or anything kind of like that, and I'd be willing to be willing to kind of let you. And spiders, I mean, large spiders definitely are beasts, so you could turn into something like that. An ettercap is not like a big kind of humanoid spider with big claws and stuff, but like,
how do I know the challenge rating? Because I can't see it on here.
For what?
Just giant spider, large beast, unaligned. It says challenge 1, 200 XP.
So challenge 1 is a little bit too much. There is something called a giant wolf spider that's only CR 1/4, so a quarter CR.
How big is that? Is that a large beast?
Giant wolf spider is the medium beast. Medium makes it about human sized.
I think that would be enough. Would I have seen that before, or would I need someone to...
Through the edge of Orin's Dell into the Marser forest, you would have seen lots of creepy things like that kind of scuttle by.
Okay, so spider or wolf? What are we thinking? Wait, what has more hit points? I have giant wolf spider has 11 hit points.
Let me pull up all the spiders.
Which is more likely to like be something that comes out of this forest?
I mean, anything. This forest
giant spider would get my attention for sure.
The real question is, if I transformed into a giant wolf spider in front of you guys, would you guys still consider me a friend?
Yes, because I've already fought spiders with you. So.
I'm just saying, personally, I don't know if this, like, I'm just saying I'm more likely to fight a wolf and more likely to run away from a spider. So.
Okay, I just filtered by 1/2 and by beasts. There are apes. There is a black bear. You could be a black bear at 1/2. You would definitely have been able to see that. You can be a giant goat. That would be hilarious. You could be a swarm of pretty much any insect you could think of. A swarm of bees, a swarm of centipedes, a swarm of spiders. These are just large swarms of insects.
Bees and eating them all.
Those would be kind of it in terms of half. If you wanted to get all the way up to half, so you had as many hit points as possible. There are apes, and I'm trying to decide if you would have. I don't know that you would have seen an ape before being in Orensdell Limited. So I would say black bear would be the most kind of BA thing that you could do besides a swarm of just nastiness in terms of insects and bees. And those swarms of insects, let's see, like a swarm of spiders, for example, has 22 hit points, and they're resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. It means half damage.
Right, but I think we might want something they all try to team up against instead of all doing their individual fighting thing and keeping them at their post.
Black bear has 19 hit points, but no resistance.
Okay.
If you do the resistant one, you can hurt them. No.
We only have to be a bear long enough for you guys to get in and get out.
Yeah.
My concern is magical. So maybe if there was one person hiding in the shadows casting, like, shooting people.
I can do that. I have a bunch of shooting.
Just someone who can, like, maybe like when their backs are turned, like sneak attack them. So like divide into 2 groups. Okay, so I'll distract them by being
attack them.
We're trying to get them away, but also long enough where we can get the kids out.
So Pim and I are gonna go after the kids.
If we
attack, and someone needs to back her.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'll turn into a black bear then. Him and then Astrid will go get the kids, but I need
Wicket and then Nasriel, I think we're gonna need just someone there in case it goes Ari.
Yeah, I think we should
So,
have her go in.
worst comes to worst, we're gonna have to fight. And Wicket can stay behind it with Adam, and just come in guns blazing if something.
Yeah,
goes
I think
wrong.
the plan is to send her in as a distraction, but you guys be on the ready in case something goes wrong, so that you can charge in if you need to. And me and Azrael will try and slip into the house while he's distracted.
And then when we do get the kids, we can't exactly send them back to the outpost by themselves. So we need to like set them away and say, hey, hide here. We'll come get you when we figured some things out. We just need to get them away.
We could have Wicket order Adam to protect the kids.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll have Adam protect them.
Okay, plan. Okay, I think Bitsy. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sneak around to the boulder, get them away from the tent. Right? You said they were in the thatched roof, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we got this. I've never been a bear before, but this is a good idea. I'm gonna try and sneak around the tents so we get them as far away as the tent from the tent as possible.
Okay.
While she's doing that, me and Azrael are gonna make our way back over there so that we're already like by the thatched house.
So we're already ready the moment they leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do stealth checks from the three of you. And Adam and Wicket and Akerly are just hanging out kind of back in the woods where they were, right? Just for a second until things go down. Okay, advantage stealth for the two of you that are invisible, and I guess normal stealth for Bitsy unless you have something that gives you advantage.
I got a natural 20, so I'm at a 27.
Okay.
I have a 24.
Yeah, I don't think Kim's ever gonna bomb a stealth roll.
Okay, but Maddie might.
To be honest, I was worried when you said you were going to stealth your way to the rock.
I know, me too. I got a 15.
15? Oh, well, they just rolled a natural 1 perception, so they are cold and hungry and distracted. Kind of turned for the moment, looking at the fire and kind of warming their hands at the fire again here in the evening. And you make your way around to the rock. Okay.
And then I can't see them, so I'm just gonna trust that they're ready to go. And I'm just gonna cast Wild Shape.
Okay.
This is my first time doing Wild Shape.
It's
We
awesome.
played like 5 times.
And it's such a druid thing, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
You do suddenly, as you cast it and you kind of focus your energy in on it, there's a bit of a kind of a rustle, kind of ripple of kind of purplish energy around you as you kind of become quite a bit larger than you were to begin with. In fact, it is a black bear is medium, so it's about the size of a normal human, which is like twice your height and like 4 or 5 times your bulk as you and you can see that your kind of breath misting out in front of you in the kind of cool air of the evening as you kind of and you are bear-like. And when you wild shape, just to be clear, you can stay and be shape. Trying to see if your druid level determines a beast you can transform into. Has a challenge rating of. You can stay in this. You then revert to normal. You convert to normal. You join. While you're transformed, the following rules apply. Your game stats are replaced by the stats of the beast, but you retain your alignment, your personality, and your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores. So you are bear strength, bear sort of AC, but you are Bitsy level of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Okay, good. So you are very still aware of your plan. You're not stupid. Unlike polymorph.
Sweet. Okay, then I'm going to be the most obnoxious black bear ever. I'm going to like get up on my hind legs and roar. Just, you know?
And you guys do. All of you hear suddenly the roar of a bear kind of from out behind that sort of rock on the other side of the thing. You see the thugs in the camp sort of jerk and kind of what, and kind of turn and look in that direction. And you just kind of stay back in the shadows. You haven't shown yourself yet, Bitsy.
No, I'm gonna start walking and just
walking into the camp or away.
Yeah.
From it? Okay. And
I'm gonna start trying knocking things over, whatever is in my path.
Okay. Do you head towards sort of the tents or towards those wagons and things? There are two kind of people around the fire here who have kind of turned in your direction as you're kind of coming from here in the sort of
We're gonna go for
atmosphere.
them. We're gonna go for them.
Okay. And you're just moving, you're attacking or just kind of wanting to draw them so you just get into their line of sight?
I'm just moving, hoping they come to me. If they don't come to me, I go to them.
Okay, you stand there kind of and yeah, they are shocked to see you enter the camp. Become intimidated because of kind of what they are. And you hear, you two that are closest to the thatch building hear the man in front of the building kind of snap out an order to the others. Take care of it. And they kind of turn, kind of hands shaking. And you see as a couple of heavy crossbows come up in your direction.
Oh no.
And
Are there any spells anyone can cast to bulk me up?
What'd you say?
Is there any spells anyone can cast to bulk
Did any of them move, or are they all sticking to where they're at?
They're kind of hanging back and raising up their crossbows at the moment where you are. Do you want to kind of head out or stay put? Do you want to move? Do you
No,
want
we're
to
gonna.
get cover?
Their eyes are on me. Their attention is on me. They're not looking at them, so I think they can still.
How far is that wagon from me?
Across the way?
Yeah.
You're on the opposite side of camp from it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is on, let's see. About 55, 60 feet away. Maybe 60, probably
Awesome.
60 feet.
How heavy is that rock?
Pretty heavy. Imagine a rock that size would be in the ton plus range.
Okay.
I
How
could
heavy is
blow up the
that
wagon.
1,000 plus pounds probably.
Okay. Then we're gonna have to do something minor but distractive here.
I could blow up the wagon to distract it.
And that's piles of wood right there, right?
Yep. Around the fire.
We want chaos.
I can't do
so-
much without like actually like using. I can throw a piece of wood at one of their faces, and it actually causes pretty decent amount of damage. But I can only do it to one of them.
Mhm.
But it would hurt him pretty bad.
I could cast my cantrip Firebolts, and it's got a range of 120 feet. I could just toss it at one of the wagons, and it would blow up, and that would at least
Yeah, I'm worried that'll draw attention to you though, because it comes from you, right?
At this rate, I don't think we're trying to be stealthy, and I'm pretty feeling confident because Pim and Anazriel are invisible, so they don't even know that they're over
Wait,
there.
how far are the guys with the crossbows?
They're just pulling out. I think okay,
from
so
you,
Yeah.
like 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 feet.
I think the main goal is
Mage hand. Could I like take their crossbow from them?
You can certainly try.
Do it.
I think at this rate we just need to make sure they don't see Pim and Anastриel.
Yeah.
So if you can make a magic wood thing float and hit one of them, I could take the other crossbow away from the other guy
Okay,
with
let's do
a
that.
magic hand.
Okay. I'm going to cast catapult then, and then on one of those bigger pieces of wood, I can lift up to 10 pounds. So I'm gonna try to find the biggest plank of wood over there
Okay.
and just toss it at.
And I'll do mine at the same time, but I'll let her do her mechanics.
Okay.
And he has to do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So a dex saving throw against what you're trying to do to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using element of surprise at the same time. So like hopefully he's not thinking about
They both would be surprised.
I'm coming right up on them.
Okay. Rolls a 10 dex save.
Doesn't beat it.
Okay.
So he gets hit with. S- 1. He gets hit with 25 damage.
What? Really?
Oh my
So-
Yeah, it's 48
I love that
damage.
you were like, this will do
So
baby
a piece of
damage.
wood gets picked up and chucked at him is what happens?
Yeah, at his face.
Okay. Yeah, so you chuck this at this dude. Okay.
That'll do.
20, what did you say?
25.
And it clocks him something fierce, damage-wise. He stumbles, kind of drops to one knee before kind of pushing back up, and he has got a massive sort of gash with just kind of blood streaming down one side of his face as he's like, what? And he like looks at the wood pile. He's like, what is going on here? Wicket, you said that you were going to try and do something with Mage Hand at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm going to use Mage Hand to just take the other guy's crossbow away from him.
Okay, so you cast Mage Hand. You can cause it to appear like right in front of him, basically. So this sort of spectral hand appears in front of him and reaches out. Let's have you do a. The Mage Hand doesn't have like stats of his own that I can see for it, so I think it's just going to use your statistics at this point. So we're gonna have it do a grab for this. So let's just have it do kind of a dexterity. I guess you could do like sleight of hand or something to reach out to kind of grab it with a dex-based thing. So yeah, do a sleight of hand. See if you can reach out and grab it quick from this guy.
Okay. 18.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's going to beat him. So you watch as the hand appears and suddenly gets plucked out. Whoa! And he kind of like moves away a little and is kind of floating in midair at this point in time. We're going to roll initiative now because we've officially started a kind of need to know who's going in what order at this point in time. So everybody roll initiative, even those of you that aren't noticed yet, so that we know kind of when you can act in the mix of all of this.
$25.
Okay.
I got a solid 10. So
You add your
did anyone
bonus?
beat out
I
Pim's
rolled a
25?
6.
Not at all.
Okay, so Pim, you're definitely gonna go first.
This is the first time I've rolled low on initiative, so this bodes well for my rolls in battle.
Anyone else beat a 19? Okay. Anybody get above a 15?
I got 15.
Okay, so Bitsy's next. Anyone
Never.
between 10 and 15?
I have a 10.
And what do you have, Wicket?
13.
A Wicket.
Did Adam roll?
Oh, go ahead and roll for Adam. Again, he doesn't get to add anything for initiative.
That's bad.
Was that
Adam gets a natural 20.
2?
Just a natural 2.
Akerly, what did you get?
I got an 8.
Akerly
Better than Adam.
and Adam. Okay.
But it's just initiative. It's fine.
Okay, so we are sort of into an initiative roll. Pim, are you going to try and do anything right now? So the way things are going down right now, attention is pointing in the direction of the bear that just appeared and the flying wood and the magic hand. So all of the attention of everybody is focused in. The two guys in the center of the thing have been sort of incapacitated in terms of shooting at the bear that is kind of stamping and roaring off to one side. And the two people near you in the buildings have turned and are kind of looking in that direction. You see them kind of readying crossbows of their own and kind of trying to get a sense of things.
Okay.
So what do you do at the moment? You can hold actions, remember, if you'd like to.
Right. Is it possible for me to like get behind this guy and try and get into this door without him noticing, or is that like impossible for where he's at?
I mean, it would be a bit of a trick. You'd have to be super stealthy, and I would have to roll perception for him to see if he notices you sort of opening the door.
Problem would also be trying to get the kids out of the house without him noticing.
But you can wait a couple turns until we can try to get it.
So I don't know if we want to alert him yet that that there are other people on this side.
No,
Since
the
they're
goal is to get
still
them out.
close, we haven't managed to draw them away.
Right.
You
Well,
definitely are
yeah.
invisible and stealthed. So if you wanted to try and, sneak up on him in some way, and
And remember, Rachel,
No.
the moment you cast a spell or attack,
yeah,
you will become visible.
True.
You can
So
try
you
and get
can
in
just
and wait a
hold
couple
action.
turns, and we can try to get them all away.
So should I hold my action and wait for a second, or should I just try and take this guy out?
You can try to get in the tent, and then wait till we draw them away to get the kids out of the tent.
I wouldn't attack, so I would either hold. If you can't try and just sneak into the tent or whatever the place is, then just hold your action.
If anything, he's gonna have a disadvantage on perception. No.
'Cause he's
Yes.
distracted.
he's definitely distracted.
Okay, then I'm gonna attempt to get into this building.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another stealth roll as you kind of try to stealth your way around and through the door.
I have a 24.
Okay.
Hmm.
And yeah, a 3 and a 6 with disadvantage. So he rolls a 3 with nothing added for this particular individual. So this guy in front of you and is engrossed. Let me check the other guy who's around. Rolled an 11. Still not enough to notice as they are kind of engrossed and kind of readying their crossbows towards the bear and trying to figure out what else they're being attacked by in this direction. So okay, sounds good. You manage to get the door open. You slip through and kind of quietly pull it shut behind you. Because we're in initiative, you don't have time to do much. You might be able to say a quick something if you wanted to in a whisper.
I was literally planning on just sliding my hands over their mouth and saying, shh.
Did
So that
you
they
go in?
don't cry
Did you go
out.
in as well in Azrael? Oh, it's not your turn yet. Never mind.
No, because it's not my turn.
I'm gonna do this and just very quickly say, "Please be quiet. Cole sent me to get you."
Kind of a under you, and you
Yeah.
you do feel sort of normal, sort of human flesh beneath your hand, and hear kind of childish voices kind of muttering through your hand. Get the sense that you have indeed found some of the children. So you feel
What
kind of
about
a
the third
nod.
one?
A nod through your hands.
Ask about the other one.
There's only 2 of them in there, and because of the bullet mode that we're in now, you don't have time to have a conversation with them just yet. So you'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. So, okay, and that brings us around to the bad guys, who are at the current moment fixated on.
So is that Pim's action or movement?
That's going to be movement and action to open the door, get in the door, and kind of interact with the children. We'll say that.
Oh,
that
it's
was-
not being okay.
Yeah, without being seen. So yeah, the bad guys kind of rustle up, and you see one crossbow's been plucked away. The other guy has been wounded badly enough and is going to turn and sort of kind of be caught between the wood stack and the bear in confusion. And you kind of hear a kind of "what's going on here" from them as they sit that way. And the other 2 are going to pull up, and they're going to shoot towards the bear. It's the only threat that they can see right now, and so we're going to have them do a heavy crossbow attack against the bear. So you have the AC of the bear in front of you.
Yeah.
Well, you roll a 5 plus 2 is a 7 on the first attack. That's not going to work.
No.
And it's a ranged attack, so they don't get to use their multi-attack. The second one attacks with a 10.
No.
They both miss you with their
shaking
crossbows. and they can see the blood streaming down, and you hear them being like, "What is it? What's attacking you?" "I don't know." And they, I think, probably at this point are going to be sort of stepping in the direction. At least this guy for sure is head over here. See what's going on. This one's going to have taken at least a couple of steps. He's still kind of hanging out with his crossbow, kind of readying for another shot without getting too far from the door. But he's now maybe 10 or so feet away from that front door of the main building. So, and that's going to be, let's see, the other two. The other guy technically isn't down. The one that's bleeding, he's damaged pretty well, but I think he's also going to kind of swing around, and the only thing that he can see is the bear, and so he's going to also attempt to attack with the crossbow.
But one of his doesn't have a crossbow, right?
Which guy doesn't have the crossbow? Because I hit.
Yeah, that
I
guy.
hit the other one did not. I hit the other guy that she hit. So she hit one, I hit the other.
Right. So the one that's bleeding still has a crossbow, although he is damaged significantly from the attack. And he rolled a 5 plus 2 is a 7. He also missed. I'm going to start rolling my own dice. I was using the digital dice, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, so in any case, another crossbow bolt goes whizzing past your ear, Bitsy, in your bear form.
Which is so weird considering that the bear is like humongous.
Right.
Like two would probably be getting hit more though.
They're shocked and scared, and now they're shaking because.
And you get the sense they aren't like crack shot, well-trained soldiers. That is not what you're getting here. So,
like, man, all of you have really bad aim.
Right. Okay, and that is going to bring us now around to your turn, Bitsy. What would you like to do?
So just to say, I'm trying to incapacitate, not kill, just ahead of time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up to the guy who's looking pretty bad.
Okay.
He's what, 15, 20 feet? Let's armor.
Yeah, he's actually only about 10 feet from you.
Okay, 40 feet. I got a speed of 40 feet, so we're good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk up and just try to swipe at him. And I have multi-attack, right? Which means I can dual wield, basically.
You can attack twice.
Okay.
It should give you sort of specs in terms of what kinds of attacks. The bear makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its claws.
Bite, melee weapon, +4 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Reach 5 feet. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to get right up next to him.
Okay, we're gonna try and claws. We're gonna claw this guy.
Okay. Did you get to make 2 attacks? So you're gonna choose the claws for this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, +4 to hit.
15.
15 to hit is going to hit. Yes.
Okay. 2d4. 6 plus 2 is 8 damage.
8 damage?
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. That is plus the 25 damage done before. That is 33 points of damage. The guy screams with a yelp, takes a slash of the claws, and kind of spins and goes face down in the dust. Incapacitated, because you mentioned that and were careful about it. You see that he is unconscious and unmoving on the ground. You do have one other attack left if you'd like to use it.
Yeah, we're gonna bite this other guy.
Okay, and you had 40 feet of movement, so this guy's gonna go down. I'm just gonna kind of tip him over here. You've got plenty of movement to move the other 5 feet next to this guy.
5 feet reach, so I don't have to be right on him.
You do. 5 feet means melee. That means you're right next to them. You're in the square right next to them.
Okay, sounds good. 21.
Definitely hits, for sure.
Okay.
This will be a bite attack.
That's going to be 6 damage.
Okay. You give him a good solid bite on the forearm as he kind of raises up and just kind of instinctively puts his forearm between you. -6. Perfect. Okay, and you technically still have some movement. You moved about, 15 feet. You could try and move away or just stay put if you wanted to. He'll get an opportunity to attack if you try and leave his melee.
We'll stay there and start roaring ferociously.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll me an intimidation check, which is charisma. So it would be whatever Bitsy's charisma is, because it's your charisma score.
Okay. 15 intimidation.
You can see him. He kind of stumbles back from you a little bit, and you can see his face just draining. He just took some damage. His face is draining white. He is definitely a bit afeared of what's going on right now, which may or may not affect him here coming
How
up.
far does he stumble back?
Not
Enough
far
to get an opportunity attack?
Not far enough because it's not his turn, so he technically doesn't have movement yet, but just flavor wise, kind of like and you can see him kind of becoming a bit frightened. So and that brings us to Wicked's turn.
Okay. So one guy's on the ground. Another guy is just got bitten.
Which guy was that? The guy that doesn't have a crossbow anymore?
The guy on the ground is the guy that had the crossbow. The guy standing that just got bitten is the guy that does not have the crossbow. It's now floating in the air nearby.
So there's one guy still standing that has a crossbow and is not hurt.
There's a guy right here that has his crossbow and is not hurt. There's a guy here that has a crossbow and a sword and is not hurt. This guy's a guy that doesn't have the crossbow and is mildly hurt. Does that make sense?
Okay, so question.
Yep.
Mage hand says like okay, so it says I can move the hand up to 30 feet each time I use it. It says that the hand lasts for the duration, which is a minute, or until you dismiss it as an action.
It can't attack. It can't activate magic items or carry more than 10 pounds.
Or if it is more than 30 feet. So my question is, like, if I cast a different spell, will the mage hand go away?
Nope. Mage hand is not a concentration spell, so you can cast other things.
Okay, perfect. In which case, I'll keep that floating so it's out of his grasp.
Okay. And you can move it though. So would you like to move it farther away from them? Or do you want to kind of leave it in his vicinity then?
Will that be an action to move it?
That's a great.
It doesn't say, I don't think.
You can use your action to control the hand, so it would actually be your action to move it. So.
Okay, so I'm not gonna.
Okay. Move it. Sounds good.
It'll just float there for a second.
It's just kind of like neener, kind of doing this with the crossbow in front of the guy nearby. Okay.
But how far is the guy closer to them?
Closer to them, or closer
to the building that they're trying to get into and stuff?
This is the building with the kids in it right here. And so there's this guy and this guy who are both pretty much equally kind of near to the thatched building. So both of whom seem to be. This guy seems in movement, intent on heading towards where the bear is. That guy is kind of posted up and hanging tight to go either direction. He's determined to kind of stay nearish the door and use his crossbow.
The gray guy, is he the one that kind of gave the orders?
No, the guy with the red hair behind the wood stack there.
Okay. How what's the red guy? How far is the red guy?
From Wicket?
Yeah.
Let's about 55 feet.
And then how close is the silver guy?
About 25 feet.
Okay, we'll go for him because he's within range.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna, using my fancy magic wand, I'm going to cast Yeah, I'm gonna cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp and just try and, like restrain him.
Okay, rock and roll. Sounds good.
Which one? The silver dude?
Yeah, he's in range. So I can't reach the other guy with it, and I don't want to try and kill the other guy, so I'm just gonna do this guy.
Okay, the target makes a strength saving throw. Okay, and it is just because fun. It is verbal somatic, and requires a miniature hand sculpted from clay as materials. So you'll the way that we have it set up, your wand is supposed to kind of deal with all materials related things. So your wand comes out. Those of you nearby, you do hear a crack as reality seems to explode in a cuff around Wicket's hand as the wand channels this magic. And with a flick and a swish, the ground explodes next to this guy as this hand made of soil and stone rises up and reaches for this guy, who makes a strength saving throw. What is the DC? It would be your spell DC, so that's a 13, I think. He actually rolls a 16 strength saving throw, so he manages to strengthen himself against it, but he still takes damage on a failed save, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Or on a save. No, he doesn't take damage.
On a failed save, the target take... Or wait, that's on a failed.
Okay, so for the moment, he manages to dive out of the way. He doesn't get restrained and doesn't get damaged as he kind of manages to kind of push off the hand and step to the side. The hand is still up. Yeah, and you can use an action on a future turn to try and grab somebody again.
Okay.
And as long as it's within your range, within like 30 feet of you, you can move it anywhere within 30 feet or so of you. So it's a shame. Would have been cool for it to like grab him up, but it's still hanging. You have two hands. This is the battle of hands right now. Two hands, one spectral hand, one earthen hand, kind of now floating up. They're like, what's with all the hands?
All of a sudden, Pim comes in with his arms of the astral self.
Right. The hands. And that's going to bring us around to...
We are the hand of Davis.
You are a venturing hand. That's a good theme. Are you going to stay put, Wicket, kind of back behind the log at the edge of the trees? Or do you want to move closer?
Yeah, because they don't know where I am.
Nope, not at the moment. They did hear a bit of a crack. And rolled a 16. I think they might be sort of turning and glancing in y'all's direction at this point, having kind of heard the sound of your wand sort of activating. So, okay, that's going to bring us around to Nazriel's turn.
Okay, since the guy is no longer by the house, I'm going to use my movement to go inside.
Okay, into the thatch building with the with the kids.
The building with the kids and Pim.
Okay. I'm gonna have you move in. I'm thinking probably.
I don't want to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Actually, we should make you roll stealth, just like we did with Pim. So
I don't want to go all the way in.
Okay.
I think what I would like to do, because Pim's already inside.
Okay.
Is basically open the door and have Pim send the children so that we can start trying to get them out.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll stealth for me.
I have a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely managed to kind of
13
sneak around and push the door open, and in the mix, he rolled a terrible perception check. So he's not noticing the door kind of opening here, as all his energy is focused on the hands, and the bear. And yeah, you kind of do this. As you open it, light kind of cascades in from the fire. There's just enough dim light to kind of light up Pim standing behind the figure of two children. You see.
Oh, isn't Pim still invisible?
Oh yeah, you don't see
I'm
Pim.
still invisible because I haven't attacked yet.
So
You don't see Pim, but you see
how
the
much
two
movement
children.
did it take from where I was to kind of open the door and be in the doorway?
Right. Well, you had already snuck near the building, so I'm gonna just say you were already kind of here.
Yeah, because we were kind of waiting.
Yeah, we were raiding like right on the side.
Literally, maybe 10 feet of your movement.
So I'm gonna.
You see, just for whatever it's worth, you see the small girl with the long hair, Jen, and you see one of the small boys, a small boy with kind of dirty blonde hair.
She's the one who asked about magic bread, right?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah. And the two of them are in there. Her hand wrapped, her arm kind of
Can
protectively
you see
around the
anything
smaller
more with
boy,
dark vision?
who's kind of.
But it's only the two
shaking.
of them, right? In there.
Just the two of them. And with your dark vision, you would very much know that there's not a third body or a third figure in there at all in Asriel.
Okay.
You're going to kind of, the door opens. They don't see you either.
There's got to be some way to be like, hi.
Natural one perception. They're like, whoa, as the door kind of just swings open sort of on its own. They did hear your voice, Pim. It was dark. They don't know that you're not invisible per se. But you feel her kind of push her hand off as the door opens and the light spills in. And she kind of looks down. She's like, Paul, this is our chance. Let's go. She's kind of taking initiative, I think, as the door sort of opens and she looks out to kind of head in that direction.
I'm going to encourage her at that point and say, yeah, let's go.
She looks kind of shocked and whatever, but here's a comforting sounding voice. They're going to attempt then to kind of stealthily.
Can I?
Go ahead.
How big are these kids? Because this is what I was just checking my spell for. Are they like small little kids, like 12-year-old kids? Like.
Yeah, she's probably 10 or 11 years old, like Cole. The other one's a little younger, like 8-ish. Kind of an 8-year-old boy. And so that would make them maybe 3.5-ish, like 3.5-ish feet tall, thin. Maybe she's pushing 4 feet at this point.
So as she comes towards the door, can I kind of just say, up you go, and pick her up?
Sure, you can do that. Do a strength, just a straight strength check. I suppose you could add athletics if you've got anything in athletics.
And I have a 15.
Okay, we'll say that's 15, easy enough for you to kind of pick them up and move with them, and then we'll use your stealth roll as you retreat instead of theirs, which is good because they rolled a nat 1 on their stealth. So
Okay.
Smart.
right. So you pick up one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh no.
probably wouldn't be too big a deal. Do you pick up the younger?
If I can I pick them both up?
I mean, that's starting to get pretty cumbersome without you being like a strongman person. Even picking up 2 children of that age is pretty. So I'm going to say with that, you probably would unawkwardly, comfortably, not disadvantage on stealth rolls, be able to pick up one of these children and kind of carry them with you if you'd like to. And I'll use that roll for the smaller of the two. That nat 1 applies to that. If the other girl is going to try and move on her own, I'll roll her another check.
Okay, so which one do I have?
You have the smaller kind of 8-year-old boy in your grasp, and he is kind of shuddering and kind of puts his head against a shoulder when he feels it. At this point, not even wondering about the oddness of invisible people picking him up. He just is looking for comfort anywhere he can find it at this point.
In which case, I'm going to whisper towards Pimiver, say, grab her and let's go. And I'm going to use the rest of my movement to start stealthily retreating with this kid.
The girl.
Can I react at all to any of this, David?
You don't have time to move or do anything other than maybe say something quickly. Although the girl does turn to you and say, "You try to pick me up, I'll kill you."
I'm just gonna grab her hand.
Okay.
Just say we'll both make a run for it.
Okay. And I'll wait for her to kind of move on your initiative then, if that's okay.
Okay.
And we'll check and see how she does at that point. So, okay. So Nazriel, you've got, it took maybe another 5 feet to go in. What's your movement total? 30?
Yes.
You move 15 feet. So you'd be able to get
Out of
out.
curiosity.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
You'd be able to get out and move maybe 15 feet away from it. So like 5, 10, maybe to here-ish on this round.
I feel like she'd almost want to go around the tent to get cover, partial cover.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was thinking too.
Back here?
Yeah.
I need to get out of sight.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, you're off kind of heading in this direction. And we'll keep the strength of those stealth rolls you've rolled so far. I don't think anyone notices you. What's up?
I have a question just because I can't find anything about it.
Okay.
I have face step, which makes me teleport. Can I teleport with someone if I'm holding this kid? Because that might change the direction I'm going.
Your spring?
If I can or not.
Okay, it is just you. In your spring form, when you use phase step, you can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of you, and that creature teleports instead of you, appearing in an unoccupied space of your choice within 30 feet. It's technically just one of you. So this is a bit of a...
Could she send that kid, like,
to Adam?
Adam?
Yeah, if you were going to use phase step, you could definitely send that kid phase step 30 feet away from you.
Okay, so if I don't go around the house instead and go more towards that stump, I can phase step is 30 feet.
Yeah.
Can I send the kid directly to Adam?
Right. That's awesome. So he's kind of back here, and so what happens is you walk in that direction. Technically, this kid is floating in midair, apparently floating in midair, and moves kind of a few steps, and then kind of.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Right, and kind of.
I knew things that I was carrying were invisible, but he's another human.
Wicket standing next to Adam, you suddenly hear kind of as a small form kind of appears. At the feet of Adam, kind of on the ground, kind of shivering, and so on and so forth.
That's
and
one
so,
of the kids.
What's that?
That's one of the kids. Take care of him.
As you wish, I'll convey. And when his turn rolls around, he'll be able to react to that. So, okay, so you're there then.
After sending the kid, I'm just gonna kind of turn back in Pim's direction, or where I think Pim is.
Awesome. And mark off your phase step, so that'll do you for this short rest. Okay. Cool.
Awesome. That's so nice that I can use it to send someone else.
It's specifically a feature of your spring form. So each season does something different with your phase step depending on the season. So
can you use that multiple times, or is it only once?
It's once per short rest. Otherwise, I would have sent both kids.
Okay, Akerly brings us back.
Turn?
Yep, back around to you.
I think I'm just gonna use. They know where we're at, but I think I'm just gonna use catapult again because it misdirects and they don't see it coming, and I'm gonna use it on Silver Dude because I think we're trying to keep Redhead Dude because he's in charge, so he's gonna know the most information.
Okay.
So I think he's the one we want to corner, and Silver Dude's the one that we just want to knock out.
Catapult is kind of a freaking cool cantrip. Not gonna lie, it's a cool cantrip, man. Okay, so you're going to.
It's not a cantrip; it's a spell.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a spell.
It's a first level spell. Okay.
It's transmutation.
Sorry,
but...
yeah, I had to scroll down. So.
Cool. I'm just gonna use my first spell slot. Find a 5-pound wood log and
chuck it in his direction.
It at him.
Okay. This is the silver guy. He's gonna make a dex
He has
save.
to do dexterity saving throw.
That is a 10 plus nothing. Okay. That does not do it. So he is definitely going to be like, what? Turn again. Go ahead and roll damage. As another stick of wood goes flying.
19.
Dang, that catapult's
What is
awesome.
with you and pieces of wood and bludgeoning people to death?
It's far away and they don't even know I'm doing it, which makes it that much more funny. Like they legit think that this wood is just attacking them right now.
You've marked off 2 of your first level spells now, right?
Well, the first one I did was a second level version of it. But
Oh,
now I'm
okay.
using
So you've
levels.
marked off a first and a second level.
Yeah.
Okay. Minus 19 hit points. Check, check. That brings us around to Adam. And I'm going to let you sort of decide. He's going to look to you. You wish me to stay here and protect the young one?
I
Or
think
do you
I need
want
to get out.
do you want him involved? I should get you. I don't know if you have something there to look up on D&D Beyond the stats for this guy. He is a stone defender.
Hold on.
And he can do a variety of things. I mean, he can do a slam attack that's pretty interesting, and but he does have a cool intercept attack option as a reaction. So if somebody within 5 feet of him gets attacked, he can react to help defend and add a +5 to their AC. So he can do that either for you or for the child if you want. Or either of you. If you both stay within 5 feet of him, he can pick and choose. If one of you gets attacked, he can super defend you. But he also has a slam attack if you wanted to send him off to hit something, so it's up to you. Seeing as you're the Occamve, I'll let you decide what he does.
Okay. Okay, I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Stone Defender.
Stone Defender, yeah.
Okay.
"30 feet of movement would not really... He'd be able to maybe reach the silver guy. That's as far as he could probably get to attack.
No, the kids need to be protected. So I'm just gonna say protect the kids.
Okay.
And whatever he does with that.
So he's going to hang tight next to the kid, which is kind of also next to you because you're right next to each other. And so he's kind of in 5 feet of both of you to be able to use his reaction if he needs to help defend you. So he's going to just hang tight, and that'll bring us now back around to you, Pim.
Can't wait. Can he hold his action? Hold his action?
Yeah.
Sure. We'll let him hold his slam attack it would really be if someone gets within melee of him, he can then unleash a slam attack. So, okay, that'll work.
So, question.
Yep.
If I'm holding this girl's hand and I try to move, does she move at the same speed as me? Or is she going to like trip and fall?
Yeah, realistically, without kind of picking her up, you'd move her speed. So I think that'll drop your speed by like 10 feet or maybe 10 or maybe just 5.
You could just pick her up and then.
Can
just
I pick her up? I don't know how big she is.
Right. She's taller than you, I think.
That's why I was gonna pick
right.
up the girl.
Taller than you by a little. But you could roll me an athletics check and see if you're just feeling real pumped up. You are tough.
Right.
You're more dexterous than
I have
strong,
I have proficiency on acrobatics.
Which would not be picking up a heavy thing. So it would have to be athletics, I think. Technically, athletics is running, jumping, climbing. It would probably just be a strength check, but I'll let you use athletics if you have anything there.
I have 22.
I mean, that's pretty darn good. So, she gets done saying to you, "If you try to pick me up, I'll kill you." And then she's like, "I'll kill you." Ah! As she kind of gets thrown up, kind of fireman style, over your shoulder. With a 22, I think you're probably fine, and you take off out the door. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Can I use my step of the wind that allows me to go twice the distance?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
then
part of the fun of being a monk. So
I'm gonna grab her and just like book it to Adam.
That's gonna be one of your key points, and yeah, that'll double your speed, which is already 35 feet plus
Yeah.
some.
That'll give me 70 something.
35 feet. So that'll give you 70 feet of movement.
Yeah.
To kind of come out and go. Yeah, you still have like 20 feet to spare when you get to Adam. So you feel an Azrael as something flashes past, and then you see Jen kind of arching over someone's shoulder, kind of feet kicking and braid kind of whapping in the wind as it kind of step of the wind is like, this is like as close to an anime run as you can get.
That's
as it
cool.
just kind of across past you in the direction of these people. I'm gonna say at this point, there's no way she's being quiet. I don't think stealth is gonna play a factor here. I think there's gonna be, at this point, you see the guy with the red hair kind of turn and be like, wait, what? As he sees this person kind of head off in that direction. And he's becoming aware that there is a group of some people over here kind of behind this log at the edge of the forest at this point. So, but these two kids are safely over there with Adam, kind of next to Adam at this point. So that's your key point. To do Step of the Wind, does that require like an action
Unless
or
that was a
bonus action?
spell.
I just
in which
spent
case
a
you're
point.
visible.
You can spend 2. I think it just went back up again.
Oh,
I was
25.
gonna say it got really choppy for me for a second.
Yeah, the internet just went kind of bummy on our side, but I think it's back up and running. Okay.
I got a 25.
Okay, sounds good. Noted. Okay, that's gonna end your turn. Bad guy's turn. Yeah, I think that at this point in time, what is going to be the biggest issue at this point? We've got a black bear attacking one of his
There's
buddies.
a bear.
A giant earthen hand that just appeared and is like kind of doing a wrestle with the silver guy. And then he just saw the girl kind of across the way and now is noticing people. I think he's probably
They
gonna
have floating crossbows
Right.
and wood bean chips.
he's gonna use his movement to kind of move off in this direction here. And he's gonna raise his crossbow up and he's gonna shoot towards, I think he sees Adam at this point. There's no way he doesn't see the giant.
Is my hand obstructing the view though?
Not from where he is, because it's right next to the other guy. So he's clearly cleared out around that and in the direction of, he's going to pull his crossbow up and shoot towards Adam. He doesn't know any better, so that's what he's going to do.
I think Adam is impenetrable.
No, sad.
He does roll a
Crossbow.
16 plus 2. That's an 18 to hit, which does hit the Stone Defender's armor with piercing damage, which
Didn't Adam hold his action?
the Stone Defender is immune to.
Yeah, but he held it for a melee.
Yeah,
It's a melee, but it's okay because he can't be bludgeoned. He's like
he can't be pierced, so he takes no damage even though he got hit. It just kind of and kind of splinters against his hide. You hear him kind
I
of
love having Adam around.
Yeah.
He makes me feel so safe.
you hear him kind of lean down to the children. Stay close, children. They cannot get you if I am here. And he'll kind of hunker down. And that's going to be that guy's turn. Let's see. We've got the guy next to the bear who is going to kind of reach down and he's going to pull out his mace and he's going to attempt to attack you with his multi-attack twice. So he's going to swing at the bear.
This is the guy who's currently afraid or intimidated.
He was intimidated, but not frightened.
Okay.
21 to hit is going to hit you, right, Bits?
Yeah.
You're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage on the first hit. And then he'll swing again. And he only gets a 9 that time, so the second time misses.
So 8 damage. Right, but if Maddie gets knocked down to 0, she just reverts back to Bitsy form with all her hit points, right?
Yeah. I basically get 19 extra hit points.
Does 16 hit the bear?
16?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Yeah, I am going to have had him roll at disadvantage, but even with disadvantage, he still makes the 1 hit. Because, and Asriel's right, he was, you rolled a pretty good intimidation roll, so. But he still hits you for the 8 points of damage.
Okay.
He's gonna just kind of stay put, trying to kind of get his thing on. I think that the guy next to the hand is going to try to leave. He's going to try and run away from it. Does the hand get normal?
I thought the guy next to the hand already moved, because wasn't it the red head guy?
Nope, it was the silver guy.
It was the silver guy.
Yeah, so I think that the hand is kind of got normal things going on, because normal actions. I think it's going to get a reaction to try and kind of reach out and grab him if he runs away, but he's definitely going to try and run away. So he's going to turn and kind of head in this direction. Why don't you go ahead and... Oh, I guess he has to roll a saving throw, see if he can get away from the hand. Cocked. Oh, man. That is a... 7. Strength saving throw. So that does not work. So what does the hand do to him?
So medium hand grabs creature. And I guess since now he's grabbed, he would have to make.
He'll take the bludgeoning damage and be restrained.
On a failed save, target takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage and is restrained for the spell's duration.
Okay.
So 6 and 3, so 9.
9 points of damage. Let's see, 19 plus 9 is 28. He's taken 28 points of damage as this thing grabs him and kind of lifts him up off the ground and restrains him at this point. Let's see, being restrained. Let me double check that. Double check that condition real quick. Being restrained. Basic rules. Speed becomes 0. Can't benefit from bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has a disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So it can still try to attack. So I think it's going to swing out with its attacks against the hand, just with disadvantage because he's restrained. I'm assuming then.
It says to break out, the restrained target can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained by the hand.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like it's built to break out the restraint on a success to attack it, so it doesn't have hit points. Okay, so he's just going to try and break free then with his action. And that is that's a 4 plus 2, a 6. So he fails again. So he is there, restrained. 0 movement, locked in place. Can attack anything that gets close to him, but otherwise he's just trying to get free of this hand. So, way to go! That's going to be his turn. That was the guy's turn, and that other guy's turn was to shoot towards Adam. So that is it. Brings us back around to Bitsy.
Sweet. So I think I'm just gonna go at this guy again.
Okay, multi-attack.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You can do
claw him.
a bite and a claw. So claw to start.
Yeah, so we'll start with a claw. See where that gets us. 16 to hit.
16 to hit definitely hits. Yep.
Okay. Nine damage.
Okay.
And we're gonna just bite him again.
Okay.
10 to hit.
10 total to hit, misses. So
No.
yeah,
Okay.
you'll miss with the bite. 9 damage. Check.
Okay.
Okay. He takes another
And I can't
swipe.
use my magic as a bear, right?
I don't believe so. Your game stats, you assume the beast's hit points and hit dice. The number of hit points you had before the transformation. You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take action requires the action requiring hands is limited to your beast form. But doesn't break your concentration. So, you do retain the benefit of any features from your class, race, or other source, and can use them if the new form is physically capable of doing so. So, if you had like a feature that allows you to do something interesting, and you feel like a bear could still do that feature, then you could pull that off. So. But yeah, if it's a spell, it won't work.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Super. Sounds like a plan. So that's going to do it. You're going to stay put?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that brings us around to Wicket.
Okay. As an action, you can cause the hand to crush the restrained target who must make a strength saving throw. It takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
He's rolling 5s left and right. That's 7 again on a saving throw.
6, 3, 9.
I think I'm going to dice jail that dice right there. 9 points?
Yep.
You watch satisfyingly as the hand, and you see the guy go limp. Were you trying to end this guy, or are you guys all incapacitating people?
Incapacitating.
As he kind of,
I don't know who's the brother.
he kind of goes limp in the hand of this thing, which then kind of just kind of like
Stop just shy of fully crushing and killing.
Yep.
We want him down, not dead.
Drops this thing to the ground. You see it kind of release, and it kind of just potato sack drops to the floor, and remains unmoving. Okay, you're gonna stay put. You have any bonus actions or?
How? Where's that other guy who's like targeted Adam a second ago?
This guy right here.
Right here, dude.
Your hand is like 5 and a bit feet, 7 or 8 feet, less than 10 feet away from him.
Okay. So like, can he see me?
What's that?
Can he see me?
Behind a log.
You're behind a log.
I'm sure.
Technically, to hide, you have to use either an action or a bonus action.
I just want to know if I should move slightly away to like to a different direction to like obscure maybe myself from view a little.
I mean, you could definitely step behind Adam and you'd be pretty much completely out of sight.
I'm just gonna step behind Adam.
Okay, sounds good. You step into the comforting shadow of the hulking stone and metal figure. And you're gonna hang tight? Do you have any bonus actions that you can do from where you are?
I
don't think you do.
Nope.
Okay. That's gonna do it for you. That brings us around to an Asriel. You are technically standing pretty much next to this guy, but you are invisible, and he did not notice that you were there.
Where's Tim?
Tim is also invisible, heading towards you. You don't know.
Okay.
In character, he rolled like a 27 stealth or something.
Can't attack, or I'll become visible.
But that's not necessarily a massive deal anymore.
Unless you want to go look for the other kid.
Well, that's
Which
what I
she
was
doesn't
thinking.
know
If we
about,
could
though,
find
in
the
character.
other kid.
You don't know where he is, but you do know there's another kid.
But there's only these 4 people here.
3 now.
Outside that kid. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'm gonna attack. Hang on, just 1 second while I check my.
What did you have in your Kaima? Were you the one that had what's like Sacred Flame and?
I had detect magic and sacred flame. Yeah.
I guess you don't really have the stats for Sacred Flame in front of you because of the situation here, huh?
No, I have it pulled up.
Okay, cool.
I pulled it up before we started.
Okay.
So I just haven't read it yet. So hang on, just 1 second.
And as a bard, you do also have the ability to inspire people as well. So you can use your bonus action to try and give inspiration to somebody else.
Right. I think since I am currently invisible,
Okay.
I'm going to use the element of surprise that I have to go up and touch this guy and use inflict wounds.
Okay. I'm super down with that.
Oh.
Okay.
Make a melee spell attack against a creature you can reach. On a hit, the target takes 3d10 of necrotic damage.
Ay.
So, do I roll something?
That's a melee attack, so it's going to be d20 plus 6 for you.
We do want one of these dudes conscious to tell us what they know, right?
You'd have to figure out a way to restrain.
Feel it. No one's talked to an Asriel. She's doing what she's doing.
Okay, the one by the bear still isn't unconscious.
Oh. You said plus 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a dirty 20.
Yeah, that's definitely going to do it. So you walk up kind of quietly. He feels a bit of a pressure on an arm maybe and kind of looks down. Whoa. And then a burst of necrotic energy like flows into him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Dang, that was smooth.
Oops. And I now become visible because
You've attacked.
Once I've attacked. So as I do that, I'll flicker into view.
Awesome.
Six plus 8 plus 8. It was 3d10s, right?
Mm-hmm. 16 plus 6, 20,
32?
32?
No,
22. Dang. You see as necrotic lines of energy crawl up and on and around him, seeming to follow the lines of the arteries and the veins in his arm that crawls up into the side of his face as he kind of screams out in pain.
Oh, hang on.
Yes.
Sorry, I was double checked something on the spell.
Not a problem.
Since it's a second level or higher, the damage increases by 1d10 for each slot level above first.
It does. So you can cast it at second level and add another d10.
That's another 6 points of damage.
Yeah, he drops to his knees. He is not out, but he is almost entirely wiped out in one hit here, as life just drains out of him into the earth.
Keep him alive.
Yeah. So he's kind of gasping and looking up at you at this point in time. And is that going to do it for you for a minute?
Let me double check I'm clicking over to my bonus actions. Sorry.
Not a problem. You absolutely can certainly use your bardic inspiration.
That's what I'm looking at. And I'm just trying to decide who I am going to inspire because I'm torn between two.
And your College of Creation gives you motive potential. So when granting a creature a bardic inspiration die, you summon a motive potential that orbits within 5 feet of the creature. And depending on what they use it for, they will get an additional benefit. So if they,
I forgot about that.
yeah, if they use the inspiration for an ability check, then it can be rolled. They can roll twice on the inspiration die and choose the better. They basically get advantage on the inspiration die they roll from you. If it's an attack roll, the target and each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it must succeed on con saving throws or take thunder damage when they attack. Or if they use it for a saving throw, then they gain temporary hit points.
So the mode of potential, is that part of Bardic Inspiration?
It's part of your College of Creation, kind of adds more to your Bardic Inspiration, basically. So
to mark it off on my sheet, would I mark off Bardic Inspiration for that?
Mhm.
Okay.
So if you shoot
I'm going
inspiration,
to do that.
and you would just
for
choose who.
Bitsy.
Okay.
And she's kind of in the thick of it right now.
Sounds good. So
Go be a hero.
you hear this kind of silver-laced words echo and power in your direction. A little mote of potential towards you and begins to orbit around you. That gives you Bardic Inspiration, which her Bardic Inspiration die is a D6. So for the next 10 minutes, you have an additional D6 that you can roll and add to either an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw.
Okay.
And you can choose to use it after you roll other things. Be like, I'm going to add an inspiration die. So.
And that'll do it for my turn.
Okay. If you use it for an attack, it'll do additional damage on your attack. So
You said that the guy that I just touched is pretty much down.
he's real close. He's looking really rough. So
Is he on the ground or still standing?
I'm going to say for flavor, he dropped to his knees. It's not really going to stop do anything for his attacks or anything, but he's looking rough.
Can I actually move before I end my turn? Because I don't think I've moved other
She's
than
within 5 feet of him right now, so if she moves, he gets advantage.
He would get an attack of opportunity if you were to leave him. But
Okay,
you can
then
if
I'll
you'd like.
stay put.
Okay. Okay, that brings us to Akerly.
Ah. Okay.
Right now,
think
currently,
we're pretty much out of the thick of it.
the guy is down on the ground looking really rough. The guy that looks best right now is the one fighting the bear. He's a bit bloodied, but still looks in control of himself fairly well.
Well, we're just, for flavor reason,
Uh-huh.
just gonna cast Catapult again. I mean, all his friends were busted by it at some point. It would be unfair not to include him.
Okay. In the sense of inclusion, then. Another stick goes flying. Dex save.
Dex save.
That is an 8 plus nothing. He fails.
Okay. 38.
There's so many chat sniggers happening right now.
We're just quoting Anastasia. It's fine.
Because everyone thinks I'm evil. I'm the type to kick someone when they're down.
It was just like as soon as she was like, and what about that? Is the guy like dead on the ground? And then she was like, you're like, no. And just in my head, I heard, and then I kicked him, sir.
Keeker, sir.
Kick him, sir.
Nashville would not be above that, so it's fair.
And I kick him.
Okay, did you cast it first level or second level, Akerly?
First, so 17.
17 points of damage. Plus the 15 he's already taken, that is 32 points, and you watch as he goes down. That is exactly his hit point level, so it exactly did what it needed to put him on the ground. So he falls to the ground with a groan, and his sword clatters his mace clatters from his hand. And you see the bear kind of look up towards you, this mote of potential, kind of a spark of energy, like orbiting around, like a kind of weird tiara almost around the head of the bear. Ooh. And now it's just the one guy left. It's Adam's turn. And he is going to stay put. So that brings us around to you, Pim. It's just the one guy left with a few hit points. He looks real rough next to an Azrael there. What would you like to do?
But we're wanting to keep one talking, right, guys?
Yeah, so we're trying to keep the red-haired dude because he seems to be in charge.
Okay.
You still know about the kid because you haven't conveyed that information to anyone yet.
So I'm going to walk up to an Azrael, who I can now see because she's no longer invisible.
Right?
Which you are still.
Yeah, I'm still invisible.
Yeah.
It lasts for an hour.
That fight wasn't even an hour.
attacks
That
or
was just a
casts
few
a spell.
minutes, right?
That was like 2 or 3 rounds. So like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I still got it for a while.
I will say, I think none of us lost any hit points because Maddie has like 2 hit points left, but that's not even her actual hit points.
No,
So
I got 11 hit points left.
that was like the most efficient fight we've ever been in, I think.
What was the girl's name again, David?
And
Jen.
And
Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy, we're still in. He's still able to attack and stuff. He's not out. So you're going to have to do something to either incapacitate him, or you could try to like grapple him or restrain him in some way. But it would be...
I'm just going to try and... I'm assuming at this point it's going to be okay if I'm not invisible anymore because we've taken them all out. So I am going to attack with the intention of... Thing is, we want him to still be talking.
I want him grappled, so like tied up or something.
Grapple is going to end up being like a strength-based check. It'd be your
Right.
strength versus his strength. I'm not sure where you are in terms of strength.
But he'd be at
you have a
disadvantage.
you have a +3 to check.
I mean, if it gets to my turn, I can always try and grab him again, but
He doesn't have disadvantage. He's hurt, but that doesn't give him disadvantage.
Strength?
Because I know where the third kid is or where the third kid went.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need him to like just talk about what's going on, or do we just want to knock him out, go find where the third kid is and investigate the Molosseum area and like just
There's also the guy I'm fighting still. He's the only one other than this guy. The guy I bit?
Akerly catapulted the guy you bit into oblivion.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
well, if we get him to my hand, I can grapple him to restrain him.
Right.
I also have several spells. One of them, if it succeeds, is kind of like a mind control spell.
He comes up in initiative next. So if you don't do anything, he's going to attempt to do something. So he'll get an attack in before it comes to someone else.
Was it just my turn?
A couple turns ago, Adam went and then him.
Then let me see.
I can either keek him into unconsciousness. You could attempt to try and grapple him with just a strength check.
If you unconscious-sized him,
we could knock them out and then tie them up, and then when they come to, we can ask them questions.
But do we have time?
We can always
What is happening with the Talaru in the city?
I'm assuming we're going to want to probably take these guys back to town so the guards can deal with them anyways.
Right.
So we could knock them out, put them in the wagon. There are horses there.
And when the fight is done, I can use the stone to try and check in with Elkia to see what's going on in the city.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to knock them out, guys.
Okay. It's easy to get
I've got other things
We don't
to
have
do.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm going to attack with the intention of knocking him out but not killing him.
Okay. So just do an attack. You're just going to kind of swing your spear around, like hit him with the butt of your spear.
Yep. I got a 20.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage. One-handed, that's 1d6 plus 5. Two-handed, it'd be 1d8 plus 5. And seeing as that's plus 5, it really doesn't matter. Just the plus 5 is going to do it. So you don't even really need to roll damage. You walk up, you kind
He's
of
knocked out.
you flicker into visibility as your spear kind of swings up and kind of clocks him under the chin. And yeah, he kind of lays back down into the ground. Awesome. All 4 of these guys are now on the ground, all around you. And so on and so forth. As you guys all kind of barely, I guess, are breathing heavily, not even really, in the aftermath of this.
Our most efficient fight ever.
It peeks out from behind, hiding behind Adam.
Oh, we're done.
What we've learned is we should always sneak in.
I think Akeley just discovered her new favorite spell.
Right.
And a couple blocks of wood, that'll do it.
She's like,
Yeah.
bloop. She's just gonna flick at her
We're gonna
wrist and
start
kind
hearing block of
of.
wood
This
in her
is the
backpack.
first fight where Akerly hasn't almost
Oh,
died.
God.
Look at us.
She's
Wood is
learning.
so
She's learning
efficient.
her fighting style. She's had.
Okay,
She's
we still have a missing kid.
That.
We still have a missing kid.
Okay, so now that I'm visible,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell Anazriel because I'm assuming the other ones can't hear me because we're a little bit away from
Okay.
them. Jen said she saw the third kid get taken. I think they took him through the door in the mausoleum. I'm not sure where it leads, but I think that's where the other kid is.
Well, I suppose we have no time to waste then. Shall we round these thugs up?
You guys can go. We'll handle it.
Do we have time to I have a decent amount of movement. Can I walk back to the group and inform the group?
We're out of initiative. You're just doing whatever
Okay.
now.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna walk back to the rest of the group to
Okay.
let them know that the third kid was taken through a mysterious archway that is inside the wooden house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where it leads, but that's where they said they took them. So I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I don't know if I want to see a bear or not. Can I just unwild shape or do I have to die?
No, you can just drop it.
Okay.
It uses uses one of your wild shape uses. So just make sure that got marked. And are you
Unwild
allowed
shape.
to wild shape multiple times in a day?
Twice per short rest?
Okay. You'd be able to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go check out this arch.
We tie them up first.
Yeah, before we do that,
I'm gonna pull out some cords right after I unwild shape and just start tying people up.
Here's the question: do we just let the kids hang out here under someone's watch, like Adam's, or send them back
we
with
send
someone?
I just don't know
someone
how safe the city is
right?
either. I feel like the best is
So
just
I think I never know if David's gonna throw a bunch of random things in here and then the kids are gonna die. So I'm like, should we leave one of us with Adam and the kids?
we can just leave them with Adam.
Yeah.
Do we think Adam's got it handled?
Yeah, he's stoned.
He's mental.
So
Or should we just because we don't
We
know.
could leave Adam with instructions that if the situation becomes too much,
The
Is-
kids.
his prime directive is to get the kids out of there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I
They
think at
come
this
with
rate,
us?
at this point, we should contact Elkiel, whatever.
Oh
his
yeah.
I think
Okay,
we
so
should-
let's divide. Everyone.
So I'm
we'll
gonna
handle
help,
Adam and
I'm
kids.
gonna help Bitsy and Akeley. Were you doing it too? I'm gonna help them start rounding up and tying
Yeah.
up.
I'll help
Yeah.
round up the
And taking
people.
taking
You
knives. and
start talking
crossbows and
to
things.
you talk to Adam about taking care of the kids.
Wait, is he
You get on your
staying?
stone.
Is he staying here and just, or are they coming with us? And then if it gets too much, his prime directive is to get them out of
We'll
there.
take it one step at a time. Let's just go tie everyone and then look at the arch and
He's
see. if
gonna
it
stay
is-
outside by the wagon to watch the bad guys with the kids.
I don't think we should take the kids through the arch because we don't know what the arch does. We don't know if it's magical. We don't know if it hurts them.
I don't think we should take the kids through the arch either. So you're just gonna have to live without him, Wicket.
I have to live without Adam for a minute.
I don't know how Wicked feels about being separated.
You
from
have
his-
to
You've had him for what, a
without
day? You can't be that attached.
Yeah, this is
I
only
don't
been
know.
a day.
He's protected me a lot, guys. He kind of saved my life on many occasions now in the short
Now
period.
there's two little kids who need him a lot more than you
We don't
do.
want to take them into the creepy, potentially magical, dangerous realm that
We're
we're
gonna
walking.
use guilt trips.
I promise him will protect you unless he goes through a door.
We will be your adult.
That was a one-time thing, and it wasn't in my control.
Exactly, so it can happen again.
You're fine. You have a wand. Okay, so
Fine,
I'm
Wicket,
contacting
going to-
Elkia. You're
Yeah.
talking to Adam. Everyone else is tying everyone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out this.
Akerly will hook the horses up to the wagon.
Do we,
Wicket will grudgingly turn to Adam. Say,
you better stay here and protect the children. And if out here gets too crazy or something, then you can like take them back to the city for protection. But watch the kids and keep them safe. We're gonna go away, I guess.
We could, since we can contact the guard, we could
Come
tell
get
the guard, hey, there are these dudes here. Hey, the kids are here with Adam. The guard can come get them, and
Say, if
then
you can
Adam
spare
can
anyone.
follow once he no longer has.
That
the
was
children.
kind of what I was thinking, is if they have the manpower, because right now the city's under siege.
True.
So, the sending stone, just so you know, sending stones contain the spell sending, and you're able to cast it once, and then you have to wait till dawn to cast it again. Sending is a spell that allows you to send a 25-word message, and then they can send you back a 25-word response, and then that's one casting of the word of sending. So you'd have to get as
He's
much
writing it
across,
out.
as much
I
as
was just
across in
like,
that.
I know. We're just gonna have to live without Adam. Wicket. He's gonna have to stand guard and take care of the children.
Wait, are you gonna send a guard to come though, so that he can maybe meet us?
It's gonna depend on them. The city is under siege. They might not have the manpower to send
They
people.
found children. Please send backup if you are able.
Or bad guys tied up.
Yeah,
Bad guys.
Bad guys.
Tied up.
Or bad guys tied up.
Finding third kid.
Finding third kid.
Bad guys.
We have 3 more words. No, we have 25
We're
words.
25. We don't have to sound like 6
Doorway. Scary.
Your
We
kids.
got 8 more words.
We are found 2 kids, going to find third, bad guys, incapacitated, tied up, in wagon. That's only 17 words.
And then you can say, send
Send
men
help if
able
available.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let me figure out the
update
message.
us
I
on
get
what's
the gist. Too many people.
While in Azrael's composing, Adam looks at you, Wicket, after what you said and says, where are you going?
I guess through an archway to like save the other kid.
You are going into danger.
Maybe not, hopefully not. If it's dangerous, then it's probably not dangerous. Maybe.
I do not like
Probably.
being separated from you.
Yeah, me neither. Because like you seem cool and safe. But you know, these kids really need help. And I have magic wand stuff. And the kids don't, and so they probably do need your help more than I would need your help at the moment. But you only have to stay here until the like guards come, and then you could come meet us when they come and relieve you.
This is your order?
Yes, it's my order.
Then I shall obey. And you see him kind of dip his head down. He turns. Come, children.
But really, as soon as the guards come, you can like you can give it to them, and you can come find us.
Very well. And he turns and he gathers up the kids. Can you be quiet, kids? And Jen's like, well, I was quiet for a whole 10 minutes once, she says, as she kind of shuffles off. We will try our best. We will hide. And he turns and he takes them off to the side, and you see him kind of gather them up and embrace them with his stone shields. And you see him kind of hunker down, and the shields kind of enclose and interconnect on themselves. And in a flash, it's as if there's just a boulder there.
That's so cool.
Cool.
It is very kind of Lord of the Rings elven cloak style, but it's a stone instead. Using his ability at false appearance, while the stone defender remains motionless against an uneven earthen or stone surface, it is indistinguishable from that surface. So he goes camo and just hunkers down, waiting for reinforcements.
Okay. if I send this message, Fruit,
Guys, if I die because Adam didn't come with me, I'm
then
going.
you'll rest easy knowing the kids are safe. Would you sacrifice 2 kids so that you
I
can
mean,
have
the rest
Adam
of
by
us
your
don't
side?
have a giant stone guy to protect us all the time.
Just
And
fine.
Yeah, but I'm the most squishy.
That's not true. Akerly is the most squishy.
But we don't want to remind her of that. So, Wicket, you're the most squishy.
Akerly is a hero.
Guys, if we send this message, does this cover kind of everything? Bad guys tied up. 2 kids safe. Finding 3rd. Backup requested for cleanup if able. Adam babysitting. Safe?
Are you safe?
sounds good.
Okay. So I'll say you safe, and then that'll be 20 words.
Wait.
Anything that needs to be added about where we're going or anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there enough to say possible connections to Tolaru?
Or I don't think they're probably
Possible connections to, yeah, because we're at 20 words. If I say you safe,
Mm-hmm. And then just add on the end possible connections to Tolaru.
possible.
That way it will give him more incentive to come pick them up.
Wario connections. So that's 19, 20, 21. You safe? Question. And that is 22 and 23. Okay. So bad guys tied up, 2 kids safe, finding 3rd. Backup requested for cleanup if able. Adam babysitting. Possible Solario connections, you safe. You good?
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to send to David. Did you get all that?
Yeah.
Always talk like that. Like that's so concise, short, and informative. Like I think everyone should talk
To the
like
point.
What can I say? It's a skill of a bard.
Different language.
now when talking to people say you have 25 words, go.
Go.
I can be concise or incredibly verbose.
You send.
I pull the stone out. I send the message.
Okay. A moment later, after the message sends, after just a little bit of a pause, a voice comes back to you and replies, "Safe for the moment. Have them on the run. We'll send backup when we can. Well done." That's about all you get.
Okay. Sweet. So we just tie up these people and take weapons away so they can't like cut themselves free. I imagine we'd like try to tie them to something too so they can't like hop away.
Yeah, we're like really just making sure they're securely.
Hey, David, can I say that in that message I send a 2-word warning of one use for
Yeah.
the stone?
Sounds good. So that he knows, right? Okay.
So that
And
he knows.
he is
That way he doesn't try to contact me again
right.
and then worry when I don't answer.
Sounds good. Yep. That makes sense.
Oh.
Message received. Okay. You tie them up. Tie them up to like a tree or like to the wagons or something.
Yeah, whatever's
Yeah.
Probably a tree.
Probably a tree.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. They are now easily enough. You have enough time to sort of tie them up. And so on and so forth. Probably takes you a minute. I don't know that it's going to be quite enough, and it's a bit of work, so you don't really have time for a short rest. Nobody lost hit points. You did use some spell slots. And so the question then becomes, none of you have the ability to recover spell slots with a short rest, right?
To recover spell slot.
How do you check?
You would have probably a feature. It's normally not a thing, but there might be a feature. I'm looking at the wizard sometimes. Oh, yeah, wizards have arcane recovery. Once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a combined level of 2, and none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So you can either do 2 first level spell slots back or 1 second level spell slot back during a short rest. Acrely. if you were to take it. So,
What is?
How many spell slots have you used?
technically, a short rest would have to be an hour of downtime, though.
I was literally about to ask that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a short rest.
So it's up to you
You
guys.
have a decent amount of spell slots left, Akerly?
I only have 2 first level spell slots left, and then 2 second level ones left. I have all my spell slots left, and then I can't crit.
And the rest of us are pretty much completely at our. Think we're good enough with all of us?
I've only used 1 slot, so yeah.
I haven't used any slots.
I still have 3 left.
I'm comfortable going into a fight with that. I'm just saying, y'all have to protect me.
We will. I don't think we have an hour to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
And everyone was good on hit points because no one really got hurt.
No one
right?
really got
No
hurt.
one got hurt.
Phenomenal. Way to be efficient.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna start leading the group over to that building where that has the Molossi.
I follow.
Yeah, you do.
As
You-
we're walking, Akerly leans over to Wicket and says, "You can hide behind me whenever you want."
Thanks.
And you walk towards the building. You open the door. You see on the inside this strange, this grave marker that has an opening. And as you near it, you can see that there are steps that descend from this sort of foyer-esque, sort of mausoleum-style thing into a sort of tunnel that goes into the ground. And again, you see a bit of torchlight flickering in the distance. And descend into it. It goes out of sight relatively quickly, down and then away. So you descend and into the darkness, into the unknown, to see what waits. And that is where we're going to end for the night. We will get into more madness next time. But awesome, well done, and I'm excited to see what you do with what's coming next. So. On it. That was fun. That was a fun
That
episode.
was fun.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Good
I like
battle
that.
is what we needed.
Yeah. Fun kind of seeing you all try a variety of things and end up doing some
Yeah.
good work. We'll see what
A whole bunch of
happens
new things.
next. So we're gonna end there. Thanks for anybody that might see this. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with us for a minute. But regardless, thanks to these players, guys, for being here. This is fun. We will see if we have the ability to ramp up and plow through some things over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll see what we can pull off. I think that's going to be it. We will leave the story there and pick up the threads next time. Peace be unto you. We'll see y'all soon. Yeah, that was awkward. There we go. Bye.
Bye.